You're rocking with the best.
Started out with a stack of bills, hand-me-down suit, no fancy skills. Library card, late night, cheap coffee, highlight ink on every page, e-copy. No letters on the wall, just notes on the floor. Scratch math running down the old front door. Every question that the others left fade, he turned into a rule and a plan he made. Time to start to teach build it all from broken pieces. Read the books, the words got weak. Turn confusion into secret.
You're rocking with the best.
Who's the man behind the speakers? Tell them that's my quiet leader. Time and started teachers teaching. Yeah. He could turn a red line black in a week. Balance out the numbers while he barely speaks. Spreadsheets open like a map of his mind. Sees a hidden pattern where the rest go blind. Court dates circled in a second-hand phone. Drafts every filing like it's carved in stone. Plain white paper but the case shines through. Judge starts seeing what he already knew. Time to start the teacher. Build it all from broken pieces. Read the codes, the words got clearer. Found the cracks and closed the leaks in every form, each line, each feature. He's a quiet, heavy thinker. Tell him that's my steady leader. Time to start the teacher's teacher. No cap, no down, no.
You're rocking with the best.
But he wrote every page. Self-taught, self-made, self-drive. That fire turned out into something higher. We don't just follow, we climb behind him. He draws a map, we rise inside it. Time to start the teacher's teacher. Build it all from broken pieces. Turn those late night scrolls and research into freedom, into defense. When they ask who shapes the future, who we call when things get deeper, we just point and say our leader. Time to start the teacher's teacher. Started with a stack of bills, now he's signing better deals.
You're rocking with the best.
To the speaker, time to start the teacher's teacher.
But they were in his classes. They didn't even know. They had to Google it while we was live.
You're rocking
So you're
with
teaching
the
people
best.
about Form 1099B and none of them knows the regulations that govern them? But as soon as I bring it out, now people want to start reading the regulations. I swear to God, when I say I'm your teacher's teacher, I'm your teacher's teacher.
Rocking with the best.
The question is, if all these gurus on social media got the sauce, why aren't they attracting professionals? Professionals in those fields where they could come back and be like, yeah, what he's saying is absolutely right. None of them got professionals behind them, so it's all a theory. It's a belief system. That's all it is. They ain't got no professional they could be like, yo, you're right. None of them. They give a damn about what, someone on TikTok and social media.
It is that I want to tell the class and whoever that's listening is that if you pay attention to the things that he teaches in this class and start taking notes, do your homework. You know, he can only lead a horse to water, but he can't make it drink. You have to drink yourself. Missed 85% of the classes and stuff, but I had the core things and the core principles down, and I read whatever he put out there. I throw it on my iPad and just start scrolling and reading.
Who securitize their contracts or receivables, why is it that all of them follow the same so-called rules? They all use the same script. They all file the same form. They file all the regulatory form. Now, they may be deceptive as hell on those contracts, but why is it that If this was so many different ways to skin the cat, why are all of them following the same method? If it was 20 different ways to skin the cat, why is all of them following?
That's my teacher's teacher. That's my teacher's teacher, my God. He's a genius. Finance. Court filings. He really got the ball rolling. Hey.
You're rocking
He
with
don't
the
have no
best.
background, it's all self-taught. These
You're
online
rocking with the
gurus, they all
best.
copy his style. He said, Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Thomas, lead the team, let's go to the top. Oh.
Welcome to the New Culture Empire livestream broadcasting live on YouTube. In today's session, we will be reviewing a court case involving an attorney and the use of AI. Also, we will be reviewing another wet ink signature claim. Please be advised that all opinions of Thomas are his own and are in no way to provide legal assistance and assumes no liability for any actions, results, or outcomes from the opinions expressed in this live stream. If you are interested in legal assistance, please send an email to thomaslegacy603@gmail.com. All services offered will be available upon request. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the New Culture Empire on all major social media platforms. And don't forget to subscribe to the new channel, Drama News, exclusively on YouTube.
Run it up, run it in bang. Whipping up, he got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global stand. On my wrist like a stage, they can't claim. You look like you wanna let go of straight. I thought so, okay. I'm back in this symphony, stuck on the band. What's up? I thought so, okay.
Yeah. We are in the building, and
You're rocking with the best.
welcome to another edition of the New Culture Empire, aka I am your teacher's teacher, Lamont, and we have some Supreme Elite team members in the group. First, by order of appearance, we got Darn in the building. Welcome to the stage, Darn.
Yo, what up?
And next, we got Big Kev from Omaha, Nebraska. In the building. What's up, Kev? Welcome to the Supreme Elite New Culture Empire. What's going on, y'all? What is the word? What's the word? What's the news? What's the news? Facebook. I know. Family members. Friends, family. This is my first time ever streaming from the New Culture Empire on Facebook. Now, I know I've been a mystery for 4 years since I came home. I got a lot of questions. Yo, what you been to? What you do? What you be doing? And then I've been tight-lipped. Family members. I know I haven't disclosed any to a lot of y'all, but today the curtain is going. I'm gonna peel the curtain back a little bit. Now, you're gonna look at this thumbnail, and I was supposed to be debating a young fella on Facebook by the name of Alan Naji, Naji. And Alan Naji, he's a person on Facebook that I see a lot of his posts, and I would comment on his posts. And I would try to tell him that a lot of things that he's posting, yes, was good law 15 years ago. But the courts have changed how they view these things in the past 15 years. Now, we got into a back and forth yesterday, and I made a particular story in which a court case in which he immediately jumped in my private message. And one of the things that I realized about Alan Najee that 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. One second. Elite. Hold on. Give me 1 second because I'm unfamiliar with this. I'm familiar with this person, so I don't know, but in the meantime, between time, let's hold on. Before we do that, let's go ahead. Oh, he dropped off. Okay. I was just gonna have you announce yourself, but you had dropped off. Elite. Whoever you was, if you can say your name in the chat, I will let you up. I will let you up. Oh, that was Roche. Hey, what's up, little Roche? You should have said something, bro. Scalini. That's Roche. That's my Deloitte friend. He works for Deloitte. Shout out to Roche. He works for Deloitte. Roche reached out to me when he was a senior at Florida University. I'm so proud of this brother. I'm so proud of this brother. Welcome to the stage, Roche. I'm proud of all the members in my group, but I'm so proud of this young brother for doing things the right way. I know black men get a lot of stigma these days, but the brother is doing things the right way. The brother is making headways. The brother is highly intelligent. Everybody in my group is highly intelligent. But I just want to shout out to Roche because I know the industry and the field that he's in and the company that he works for, one of the big fours in accounting. And gratitude and appreciation for you, bro, because we talk and we know that's a brutal business that you in, but like I said, keep pushing, you're gonna get there. So welcome to the stage. So where I was supposed, so back to Alan Najee, we had a disagreement, and one of the things that I always pride on, if I'm going to critique another teacher or another guru in these spaces, one thing that I'm not going to do is lie. And he called himself yesterday trying to expose me for being a scammer based on screenshots of the conversation we was having. Number one, it's a weak move. And I don't, once I understood his age, I kind of expected it. Like I can understand. He's 23 years old, by the way. So it's no beef. I don't see myself beefing with a person that's 15 years younger than me. It's no beef because I have more insight and wisdom than him at this stage in his life. And yeah, and I understand where he's at, and we're going to get into why I understand where he's at, because where he's at is where I was at about 10 years ago. So Alan Najee tries to say that the emails between me and the lawyer were fake. See, the problem I have with that is it's one thing to actually go off of the facts and the evidence and call people out solely based on what they teach. It's one thing to do that. It's another thing when you lie, it's like me, I don't ever try to look for something to be wrong with these teachers. I take everything they say on face value and I evaluate it based on what they say. There's no hidden motives, there's no ulterior motives. And the people who actually do things the right way, you can see I'm on their panels and TikToks. We having conversations. I'm not the person that only wants to be the only one that knows this. It's enough space where all the people that understands what's going on, those always seem the people who I actually connect with. So it's not that I'm trying to down him, because to be honest with you, this brother, he doesn't have nowhere near the experience of me as I've had in this. And that's just what it is. Like, I've been there before with him. Like where he's at, I've been there before. He just doesn't have the years of experience and the wisdom and the understanding. And I understand that. And it's not a knock on him. That's just what it is. So, but when you started saying the emails between me and the attorney are fake, when you start to say that, oh, you didn't win nothing, when clearly it's clear as day that, hold on, man, hey babe, do I owe another car note on my truck? No. Oh, okay. Is the title coming to me in the mail? It's on its way. Have you seen it? Have you, when I mean, have you seen the settlement? Didn't I break the news to you first? Oh, okay. All right. There was this guy named Alan Nazi who tried to say the emails between me and the attorney was fake. I didn't win. Well, my wife called you an idiot, not me. And yes, I'm back at her play. And I do live meetups. And oh shit. God damn. All right, broski. And the thing about that is when you start to look for something to be wrong, but then you're asking for someone to supply you case law, in which case law you were already supposed to know. And then once you do the reverse research, because I redacted the case law, once you found out the case law, you go make a post about it. It really shows where you're really at, because the question is, why didn't you talk about that case before me? And this is the thing with these social media teachers. They always wait for me to speak on the subject before they speak on it. But when they speak on the subject, they always speak on it like they just came up with it on their own, not knowing they use me for their content, for their talking points. And I understand that. That's cool. But I've told these gurus from the day one, if you're going to come on my videos, if you're going to watch my page, if you're going to hawk my post and then go take what's in my post and go start teaching from it, only thing I ask these people for 3 years is to give me the credit. Because if I got something for someone else, I would have gave you the credit first. But all of y'all think the same. All of you online teachers who started from the same similar positions, you all look at this like, if you don't know everything, people are going to leave you for someone that they believe knows everything. The problem with that thinking is whether you had 500 people or 2 people, you should be utilizing in real life what you're doing. It doesn't matter who does it. You're utilizing it in real life. Thought you was on stage, bro. So it shouldn't be an issue. Now, let's get to something right quick. I want to get to something right quick. Let's get to something right quick. Let's
See, this is what happens with people, right? They'll get a little credit card arbitration, right? They'll get a little credit card arbitration. Now they think they can step with the big dogs in autos and mortgages. Credit card. Ooh, Najee, you got a credit card settlement. Woo! What about a mortgage and auto? So, oh, hold on. You see that? He works for Saul. Jeff.
And I'm doing this, not that I owe him anything. I don't owe him nothing. But when you go make public posts and you post it on your page and you don't walk it back, knowing that you're lying, that is what I don't respect. Knowing that you're lying. And you are so immature to just be like, yeah, you right. Because the members in my group know that title's coming to me. I showed my family member. They know the title's coming to me. I can't post the full terms of the settlement agreement online because it's confidential. Darren, in your personal opinion, from what you saw today, Darren Thomas, my family member.
Yes, sir.
Is the title coming to me, yes or no? And you could be 100% honest. Be honest with the people.
No, yeah, it's coming.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay. That's and when you start to look for people to be wrong and look for ways to discredit them, this is when you set yourself in a trap. Because I never look for people to be wrong. I never look for people to be wrong. I judge based off what they say and what they put out. The problem is rookies and people that are calling themselves teachers, they can't stand criticism. They can't stand critique. They can't stand anybody telling them anything different from what they believe. And this is why they will never win consistently long term, because you have to have thick skin and you got to be able to stand a straightener. You thought I was actually trying to expose you that you don't know what you're talking about? Alan Najee, you was putting out wrong information in context because what you were putting out has nothing to do with how it has to be argued in court. And you admitted to me, and we're going to get into this video, that this is your first mortgage. Alan, I've already been successful in what you're trying to do in a non-judicial state, which is even worse. I've already been successful in what you're trying to do. And this is the problem. People think they know it all. They're blinded by their own self-confidence. But when put under the judicial light, or you go up against someone that has way more experience than you, you're immediately going to be humble, and you are going to know of the term that I like to use, that you know very little about a system that you think you understand. Oh, Sunday, you went to the hospital, you're sick, whatever, but Sunday, Najee, Alan Najee, Sunday, you are going to learn the meaning of the word humble. You're going to know that term.
Free, Gamble, and Saul.
And Najee, he will eat your ass alive in court.
As a matter of fact, let's do it even better. Let's do it even better. I can't really talk about the confidential settlement. You heard me? I can't really talk about the confidential settlement. You see that goddamn man that's sitting right there? It's the person I was emailing back and forth. See, I'm not like all these other gurus. I don't have to go to great lengths to lie. Everybody knows I settle. That's the whole thing. You tried to post that. Oh, he's capping. He didn't settle. He didn't win. The emails are different. Bro, half of your people was in my story. This is why they never responded to your post, Alan. They never responded to your post. You probably got one laugh because someone that don't know the context just sees your page and they like you. Oh, I'll laugh at it. But the people that really follow you, they know, nah, Alan, you're wrong on this one. They know the reality. And this is why a few of them was in my inbox. Oh, yeah, a few of your people, Alan, are already in my inbox. I can't really talk about the...
Hi, you've reached Jeff Gamble at Saul Ewing. I'm sorry I couldn't answer your call personally.
Saul Ewing, called him on the phone. So I'm going to call a fake lawyer. So hold on. I'm going to call a random fake lawyer and leave a random fake message. Right.
So if you leave your name, number, and a brief message, I'll get back to you soon. Thank you.
End the recording.
Mr. Gamble, this is I bleeped that out, bleeped it out. With the credit acceptance situation that we resolved that we didn't have to go to court. Now, I'm going to say that to a random lawyer. I'm going to say that to a random lawyer. Hey, babe, do you remember where we was at when I first heard that we was going to agree to settle? Where were we at that night? We were actually in the grocery store. Okay, that's when I first found out. I didn't check my emails all day. I just have one question. And then I immediately informed my members. Derek, can I use you and Roche? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Right. Do I only show you the good side of things? Yeah, do I only show y'all the glamour side of just wins? Or do I only show y'all the glamour side of things?
Oh, absolutely not.
I show you the wins, losses, good, bad, and everything in between.
Yep. And you go over, hey, you know, we're not wrong, but it's strategy. Right. You know what I mean? You gotta pivot. So
some things are what they are.
Yeah. You can't change it, and it's a nuance thing. It's not a bad thing. It's just that's just the way it is. You know what I mean?
That's just the way it is. Some things are just the way it is. But we learn from the adversity. See, the problem with you teachers, you try to do so much to shy away from adversities and L's that you don't even realize you're preparing for everything that you don't want to happen. You are walking yourselves right into a trap that you don't even see coming because of your own self-confidence are blinding you to the reality. What you know about a mortgage has nothing to do when it gets to court and the arguments. It's a whole different ball game. I don't care if you know securitization, accounting, it was sold multiple times, what ink signature, the investors, none of that matters. Want to know why I say don't matter? Because the procedure and the arguments and the timing and the rules govern. And I'm going to tell you this. If you are representing a party that's already in default, being sued in a non-judicial state, well, being foreclosed on, go and try to bring a lawsuit in many jurisdictions. Once you get noticed that they're trying to sell your house in a non-judicial state, go and try to bring a lawsuit. Go and try to bring a preemptive lawsuit. Go ahead. In a non-judicial state, go and try to bring a preemptive lawsuit while they're in the process of taking your home, Go bring a lawsuit and watch what happens. And this is what I'm saying. I don't know mortgages. I don't know autos, credit cards, debt buyers. I understand the system. If you can give me a call back at 59. If you can give me a call back, I just have a question about the title. Just one simple question. If you can give me a call back at your earliest convenience. Thank you. As you can see, read my bio. This is a real attorney. It's in the email. That's at the bottom of all the emails when you send. Not the email. This is a real attorney. No. You're missing. The problem is, I won't tell them what's going on so they can run back and post on their page like they're so much smarter than what they really are. That's the real problem here. He was mad that I wouldn't give him the cases. But what he doesn't realize, I have over 180 cases, federal and state, dealing with mortgages. So the little cases that he's researching on, he don't know. When it comes time for the debate, I'm going to throw another 20 at you that you better be prepared for. To counter every single one of the cases that you may want to cite. And you better not cite them 2010 to 2015. But once again, every mortgage is going to be decided on their own set of circumstances and facts. And if you're already in default and you're already being foreclosed on, the hill got steeper. You better know how to argue it. Teachers are so focused on knowledge and what's going on. They don't understand that your knowledge and what's going on has nothing to do with court arguments. Attorney, dismissal that was filed with the court. So ordered, stipulation of dismissal filed by credit acceptance. What do we have here? Settlement agreement. What do you see here? For settlement purposes only, not admissible in judicial proceedings for the federal rules of evidence. What do you have here? The confidential settlement agreement. Of course it's going to be blocked out. Why wouldn't I have it blocked out? They're like I don't listen. You think I got to prove everything every 5 seconds to you? Every little single detail? There's a lot of things that I've gotten to show me. Y'all don't ever see the light of day of it online. The only people who sees everything unadulterated, and my own members haven't even seen this. There's only one person who's seen this confidential settlement. That's my wife. My own group members haven't seen this because I know how to honor deals. And about to see, I can at least show you that it was signed. Let me guess, that's fabricated too. See, it's so effortless with me. I don't have to make up these documents like they're making up fake orders online, especially on TikTok now. See, I don't have to do that because my reality just speaks for me. It's so much easier for me because my reality speaks for me. And you want to know why it's like this? It's not because I know a process. It's not because I got a process for someone, because I spent almost 15 years learning and studying the system. Have 24 years of in-court experience. In and out of courtrooms for 24 years. I have in-court experience. A lot of things you're going to have to learn off experience. And got another one on the way. Actually, we got 3 more on the way. They're going to be sick to their stomachs. We got 3 more coming down the pipe. They're going to be sick to their stomachs. And check the docket sheet on those too. Oh, by the way, do y'all see the red stuff at the bottom when you know it's coming from a professional?
Darren, have you gotten emails from an attorney before? If you
Absolutely.
does it have like some like similar like external, it's some similar
Yep.
verbiage? Okay.
As a not a letterhead, but like a footer, like official
Right.
email from
Right. Like official email from
XYZ.
the attorney. Right.
Right.
Right. That's what you see there. Hey, Darren, does this look like a legitimate email?
Absolutely. This is every day
Okay.
is standard.
Right. Standard. Roche, does it look like legitimate email? If you can answer.
Very legitimate.
I'm pretty sure you deal with attorneys. I mean, you are a professional. You work for a big four accounting company. So I'm pretty sure you see emails like this. And Darren, with you, I know you see emails like this. So let's just proceed. Oh, by the way, I tagged Alan Naji in this video. He said he didn't see it. Oh, he was so busy, but he was so busy to go post screenshots of our conversation saying the emails are different. The emails are different. That's not the attorney. Are you an idiot? And you're defending someone's mortgage? And you can't even tell when an email is coming from an attorney or not? Yo, who fucking reached out to Najee? Alan Najee. And I'm not being no disrespect, but y'all know y'all reaching out to a person that's never ever defended a mortgage his first time. So you don't even understand the nuances that's about to blindside you. You don't even understand that you about to get hit. Guess what? I'm gonna tell you, but hey, I got a crystal ball, Alan Naji. I'm about to tell you what's about to happen. You're about to come in with your chain of title arguments. You're going to come with your securitization arguments. The debt's been paid multiple times, TILA, all that. And guess what? What you're not going to be prepared for is that attorney is going to cite about 7 or 8 cases that courts have already destroyed your arguments, and they're going to get right back to the original issue. Did you default? Did you stop making payments? They're going to, because you don't have in-court experience, so they're going to pivot you right back to there. Are they in default? I mean, remember, you're not going into court. You're not a licensed attorney. We all pro se here. So your students are going to have to know these things. So how are you teaching them in court procedures, court rules, procedures for them to navigate? See, these are the nuances that you're not anticipating. I hope you don't think you're just going to get their case dismissed by your filings. Here's my proposal agreement. And what name does it says? Oh, by the way, Alan, you reached an agreement with them in arbitration for them to reinstate the account. I had the arbitration taken squarely out the deal against a company who is notorious for filing and getting arbitrations agreed. They didn't even attempt to go to arbitration. But Alan, you said I didn't cite no case law, which is a red flag. And you read my whole case. So if you read the whole case, see, this is what I'm saying. When you start lying, I already know how you coming. This is why on Sunday, you're debating me here. And guess what, Alan? We're going to have a professional in the building. So you better make sure you know things on a professional level, because that's how I'm coming. You say you know accounting, right? Hey, Darren Roche, you think you're going to be ready for my accounting arguments?
I don't know, man.
I get deep in that accounting now. You don't know about 20 off the top of my head and where they're supposed to appear on the balance sheet. Alan, do you know how to read it? Are you going to be able to do all that studying before Sunday? You know how to read a balance sheet, Alan? If you don't know how to read a balance sheet, don't even bring up accounting in your debate.
Jeffrey Gamble. Because everything he's citing on his Facebook page is securitization and chain of assignment, and all that goofy stuff, because he's still a rookie. But everybody knows account balance 0. See that your account was closed on Friday attaches the updated transaction history reflecting a 0 balance.
So right there. So he was like, the emails is suspect. How would the emails be suspect when the actual results are indicative of what's in the email? What logical, reasonable person that's seen me on TikTok and Facebook that posted the emails and the resulting actions that's going to say, oh, I'm not going to talk about what's actually filed in court. I'm not going to talk about your account being zero. I'm not going to talk about the account being removed from your credit. I'm just going to focus on the emails that I think are not legit. If the emails aren't legit, then the resulting actions aren't legit. You don't even understand that concept.
You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.
Wouldn't that make it, see, in court, breaking up an email argument when everything that's said in the email took place in real life, we call that a moot point. You don't even bring it up because you're going to look more crazy. And this is a person that is going to be helping someone with their mortgage. Okay.
Also been informed that credit acceptors submitted the request for the deletion of the trade line. So when you see it removed from my credit report, we're scamming about this, Najee. Look, Najee. As of February 2nd, 2026, Najee, what you about to expose, Najee? Remain in balance. What happens when the
right there? What are you exposing? Oh, the emails are not legit. What about the account being zero? What about everything in the emails that's like lining up with what's actually happened? Oh, I ain't gonna say nothing about that. And then you've been sending me private messages. And I asked you like a man to walk back those lies. I'm not telling you not to have your opinion, but I'm telling you to walk back the lies because I don't lie. I only go off what people post. I'm not going to look for things to see they're wrong. I'm going to take what they say and I'm going to analyze it and give my opinion on a public platform. If you don't want me commenting on your post, then you need to have me so I can't comment on your post. But you're on a public platform and you get in your little pussy feelings because someone is saying something that doesn't agree with you. So what are you going to do when the lawyer comes with their arguments that's not agreeing with you? You're going to throw a temper tantrum like you did? But let's not forget the fact, Alan, you were trying to accomplish something that I've already done. We're not going to lose that fact. Welcome to the stage, Natural. What's up, baby girl?
Hey. I just really want to come on.
Hold on. Rhonda said, hey.
Hey, Rhonda, how are you? What up, though?
Hey, man, we just trying to figure it out, man. And listen, I know y'all, we got to give him a little grace. He's only 23. She's only 23, y'all.
But he's stepping to the ring with a big dog. And I mean, yeah, I understand giving the grace, but at age 23, you know the difference between a little dog and a big dog.
And the big dog.
And if you want to jump into the ring, I mean, you just got to be ready.
You better be ready. Because I'm going to say this. Because top level professionals have already stamped me. Y'all remember when the homie in the group, he's been going through his health issues. He was trying to get up with the SEC, the attorney. Remember he said in the class, the SEC said, yo, you good where you at? We don't need to talk every day. The one you with, y'all good. You good right there.
Yeah,
man, he said that in the message. Yeah, the SEC attorney said, bro, we don't got to talk every day. You already good. Where you at? He's talking about me. An ex-SEC attorney, 27 years in the game, way more experience than me, is stamping me. There is nothing a little online peon of a teacher is ever going to say that can refute what I'm saying, because I've probably forgotten more shit than he's even discovered. And that's a fact.
I'll just say what I said earlier. People are still having to put your name and your platform and your wins. They are using that to draw a certain audience. But just like the people in the Supreme Elite team, Like, you can't go and just mimic something. You have to know it through and through. And again, age and consideration and giving grace, but bro, you cannot make wild claims that are unfounded with somebody who's a shark, with somebody who's a big dog, with somebody who knows the game because they've already navigated it successfully. So once again, if you want to come into the ring, that's cool, but when you get capped, you know, you really can't say anything because you had the audacity to step into it. That's just what it is.
And he invited me to a debate. And I gave him multiple opportunities to walk it back. I said, bro, you don't want to debate me. I go up against multi-billion-dollar corporations daily. Trust me, bro. You don't want to debate me. I'm not one of these online teachers. I've studied from the best of the best. The best of the best are my mentors. You don't want to debate me, bro. I'm telling you, everything that you think you know, I've already been there, done that. We're on a totally different level. But since you want to do it, and since I've already been successful in what you're trying to accomplish, and since I'm the one that has the receipts, and since you called me out, and since you made lies that are not true, you're going to debate me on my turf. I'm the A side of this debate. You're the B side. You have no receipts and mortgages that would make me want to come to your side. We're going to debate Sunday, but you're going to get the link and you can bring up to 2 people, like I said, and y'all can come on this side. And we're going to have a moderator. I'm going to send you my proposed instructions. You can send me your proposed and we can agree on the terms and we're going to let it get it done. But what we're not going to be, let me just let you know this right now. This is not going to be an underlying seminar. This is not going to be where I tell you the right way. This is not going to be where you're secretly trying to take notes on what I know. It's not going to be it. I'm telling you that right now. But you'll get the details in the proposed instructions, because what I'm not going to do is secretly teach you like what you really want me to do. And just like what many of these online gurus want me to do. Y'all think I don't know me? Like, well, if it's wrong, show me it's right. Why? I already know what you about to do. You about to go take it and start teaching like you came up with it all on your own. When the balance gets to 0. Mr. Gambler, thank you for the update to CSC. I appreciate their swift movement. Thank you. That's my response, by the way. Oh, I'm attaching the dismissal. I'm attaching the stipulation of dismissal to be filed in accordance with the settlement agreement. Looks like, if it looks accepted, please confirm that we may sign and file the attached on your behalf. That sounds like a real lawyer. They use different languages. Every time I was taught, he used the technical lawyer terms. This not no. But you know what I've noticed? Ever since I came with my settlement, Kenneth Wells, he so-called reached a settlement. But you know what's so interesting about his settlement? It's like, it looks like, now I'm not saying it happened, but I am saying it happened because I believe it happened. It looks like these gurus, they'll never like, they'll never comment, they'll never drop a heart, like, laugh. When you go on my page, it looks like nobody like, nobody comment, 0. But when I check the analytics, the insights, it'd be like 100 and something views, 200 and something views, hundreds of something clicks. So they're watching from the clouds. What I believe Kenneth Wells did was take the language from my settlement agreement and go created his own email talking about a settlement and posted it to his people based on my real settlement. Because once again, you may be able to fool people that don't really understand, but the end results and the end game trenches, that's going to determine whether that email is true or not. We know ever since I dropped my settlement, gurus on TikTok, gurus on Facebook, now they're talking about, oh, we reached a settlement. Y'all haven't been talking settlements in the whole 2025. But as soon as I come with my real settlement, now everybody has a settlement. When I say I am your teacher's teacher, I am your teacher's teacher.
You're rocking with the best.
Big facts. Big facts. You introduce language that they've never heard of, and so again, lurking in the shadows, and that's cool. But it's crazy because they could literally sit down and learn, because it's not like you're saying that no, I won't teach you. You are saying, however, my time, my energy, my effort, my knowledge, my know-how, my real life experience, that shit ain't free. I don't do nothing for $3.99. I don't do none of that. So if you come in, then you need to come correct. But lurking in the shadows, bro, that's whack.
Yeah, they've been doing it. Natural. They've been doing it since 2022. They all do it. They all your gurus. They all come watch my channel for talking points, and then they run back. You know how many emails and messages I got? Hey, yo, you just talked about this yesterday. Now they on there teaching it. Only thing like I said, only thing I say is give me the credit. Don't give me the credit. Like, just be like, hey, I got this from over here. That's all I'm saying. Because I've done the same thing. But let's continue.
Got the lawyer name down at the bottom. Got the all.
Oh, and to prove that, when I be showing y'all YouTube videos of other channels and other people, that when I say, hey, y'all watch this video, they know what they talking about. Don't I get them their credits? Because that's the right thing
Always.
to do.
It ain't never no secret. Whenever we read
Right.
material, you directly quote the author, the year, where it
Right.
came from, what
Right.
what everything is. Yeah, you don't sleep on that.
Nah, I don't black out the name like, y'all go research this author. Yo, this person's like that. The lady, we ain't gonna say her name because they gonna start going research. But y'all know the lady I'm talking about. I praised her to high heaven. I say she is a dog. I watched all her stuff. She's a dog. Y'all go research her stuff. And they and this is what I mean. They don't have no professionalism with them with this stuff, because all of them are just online trying to make a quick buck.
Office got the settlement agreement right there. Come on, man.
The spell, break a predatory scheme down to death.
It
This is the email where he said, "Oh, it's fake. Oh, it's not legit." This is the email he's talking about. Oh, it's different from this. Oh, it's not same. But you can look at the resulting results that aligns with this email. You see what I'm saying? Like, if you're not really going to be honest and come with good faith, it really shows who you really are. You got that arbitration agreement with them to drop the suit, and they reinstate your line of credit, Alan Najee, in 2022. Congratulations. But autos and mortgages are big boy leagues. This ain't arbitration. You're dealing with a foreclosure. You better know what you're doing. And from what you post, you don't understand the nuances of court. Only thing I ask, win, lose, or draw, Alan, just don't disappear and stop talking about the case like the rest of them do. Or don't say the courts are scam, it's conspiracy. If you lose, take that L on the chin. That's all I ask. Don't try to spin the narrative. Just say, hey, I lost. Because we know you're not going to do it. We know you're going to spin a narrative, because you're no more different than the rest of them who think they know everything. But you know very little about a system that you think you understand. You wanted to say something, Darren?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say a lot of the information we go over, it's vetted. It's not just, oh, here's a link from XYZ, or I mean, the stuff is heavily researched, and a lot of times when nuanced information, it's is discovered in research. It's not a knock to you because you didn't know. It's just you're not doing your research on, or you're not looking up more than just one citation or more than one article. So it's kind of, it shows in your documentation and the things that you talk about when you don't connect those nuances. And I think that's the big discrepancy with a lot of these people online is they read one article or one court case, and all of a sudden they know everything about securitization or everything about mortgages. Or I mean, it's a highly complex system that you
Right.
can't just read one article and be like, oh yeah, I know it. Let me shoot me $1,500 and I'll do this or I'll do
Right.
that. And it
Right.
doesn't happen that way.
That's
And
what they do.
it's not a knock to anybody. It doesn't happen that way. Like, attorneys go to school for long periods of time, and even after school they still have to research, they still have to hire paralegals that have some type of schooling. So it doesn't happen that way, you know what I mean?
Right. And like I said, y'all, court 24 years experience, 14 years of intense studying. I didn't just read something. Oh, I'm ready to go. I had to go through the fire, had to go through the ringer on the criminal and civil side. I've been through the bar battle school. So I'm telling you, I wasn't hired fresh out the feds from a law firm as a paralegal for nothing. They see my work. One thing about me as pro se, I am a master case researcher. I am a master strategist and styling a motion and painting the picture. I am a master at it from a pro se litigant stage. I make corporations tap out.
Decimal hell, securitization flow. Turn a contract to a bond chain. He can trace the money trail backwards in a rainstorm. Same lane, receipts in the briefcase. Dates, times, bank names. You bring vibes to the courtroom. He bring numbers and case names.
Let me guess, that's fake too. That's fake. Count close, it's fake. That's fake. That's not real. That's not real. So let me guess. Y'all want me to do this. See that credit accepted symbol? Y'all want me to do this. This is what y'all want me to do. Y'all want me to do this. This is what y'all want. This is it. Account closed.
I would
That's
like
what y'all
to
want to
know.
see. But let me say, that's
I
what
would
they
like
want
to
to see. They
know.
want me to do some shit like this. They want me to go on my
Yeah,
phone
but
and say account closed. Hold on.
my
They
whole
want
thing
to
is,
see some. Hold on 1 second. Let me just show you this. This is what they want. This is what they want to see. Account is closed. They want to see some shit like that. They want me to show some shit like this. Initial balance, remaining balance 0. This is what they want to see for them to believe it. That's what they want to see. Let me give you what you want. You want to see that, and then you want to see that. That's what you want to see. There you go. There you go. You see it? There you go. I mean, that like they want me to do that every single time. I'll be your Huckleberry. Today. What else y'all want to see on this? What else y'all want to see on it? Oh, well, let's show the transaction history. Okay. See that negative? That's the big boy negative. Wave principle. That's what they want to see. They want to see took it all off. Took it. I mean, that's what that's what, like. I'm not telling the truth, but them they ain't got to show nothing. Just believe. Because everybody else, you just got to believe. Notice that, right? You got to believe. You got to believe. And I was wondering, why was Alan Najee always posting shit about mortgages more? Yo, I think I found the last. This is it. But when I read it from a professional standpoint, see, that's the thing. They think everybody that comes on their channel doesn't know as much as them. So they don't really know how to deal with someone that knows more than them. So I was looking and say, why the hell? It's like it seems like he's trying to convince everybody he knows what he's talking about. It's like he's trying to convince himself. It's like he's looking for everybody to be like, yeah, you're right, that's it, yeah. Now he's looking for the fire emojis in the chat, the hearts, the likes, the like, all right, this is the right way. You know, when I want to get something confirmed, I'm sure, I call a professional up. I schedule a meeting with the professional, or I get my friend to go ask the professional a question. It's like you like, not Ali, like you got to go to Facebook to get yourself hyped up. I don't have to do that.
That's why I knew that you was a rookie just by in the terms of your talking when you would post this stuff. Told you, when you're dealing with someone that knows this shit, 2.5 seconds to know whether you really that or not. Go ahead, Natural.
I was just wondering, like, what is their basis um, when they say yours is fake? What do they have to compare it to? What is the document that they have that's authentic and original and comes from said creditor that says, okay, this is what's real, and so if it doesn't look like this, then it's fake. I don't see anybody, and granted, I'm not in the spaces. I don't be checking for nobody else. Like, I have found my home with Supreme Elite Team. Like, that's just it. But I'm saying, if you, again, are going to make
You're
these
rocking
claims,
with
you can't just do it hot air running out of your mouth. You need to say, this is what's authentic. This is what it looks like. This is what it contains. This is the seal that's on it, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And this is why Thomas is full of shit. But they don't have anything that they can reference to say this is the real and his shit is fake. So again, like, the talking points are killing me. And we'll go back to old buddy for a minute. Okay, he's 23, but what about the ones that aren't and who are out here really stating like they know actual factual stuff, and they are literally putting themselves in a position as like the one who knows what's going on, and people are giving like their last to them. That's not cool. To get a buck. You can be an expert in what you're an expert at, but if this is not it, then stay out this shit. If you're not here to learn, you should certainly not be claiming to be a teacher.
That's it. Obviously, the emails that I showed throughout this video, all the emails I showed, maybe those are just made up, even though it's all indicative. The emails, what it says in the email, it's all playing out in real life. But maybe it's the fact that I think what it is these spaces as a whole, it's been so used to just believe in me versus like when someone like me comes and says, here's the proof, now believe in me. Here's the proof, now believe in me. Here's the video calls of the professional stamping me, now believe in me. Here's the satisfaction of lien on a mortgage, now believe in me. Here's this, believe in me. See, when they don't have enough, they don't have the look at this proof, believe in me. Look at this. Now, once they see me, now they got to manufacture them. So I just think it is, I broke the social media guru code where you just believe first and then see later, versus I'm gonna show you first and then you make the decision or whether you want to rock with me or not.
Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got.
I guess that's fake too. I mean, any of y'all deal with credit. Darren, you deal with credit stuff all the time. Let me see. I manufacture that too.
No, you cannot manufacture that. That's legit.
Yeah, I manufacture the wording and all that, like how they talk. Yeah, I manufacture that too.
Receipt, line by line, no smile in the dark.
I made that up too. I made that up too. I made that up too, right? Right.
Where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, read wet ease.
No, this ain't on the case docket. This ain't filed with the case docket. Like, all this is filed with the court.
Hey, I got something to add real quick. Let's take away the premise, and this is gonna put a real monkey wrench into his argument.
I hear you though. Go ahead.
Huh? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. So let's take away the premise that mortgages are illegal, right? Because everybody's still signing mortgages every day. So out of what we're gonna debate, what is going to be your angle if mortgages aren't illegal, because people sign them every day. So if you have all of this experience and you're so knowledgeable on mortgages, you can't come in and argue, oh, this or that and wedding signature. I highly doubt that he's going to have any type of angle or multiple strategies that show, how would you say, like invalidate a mortgage. but you ain't gonna be able to say that they're illegal because they still happen every day. So
Okay, so the thing about that is, I believe that the problem is that they're so focused on trying to uncover fraud and securitization. But the problem that they don't understand is securitization is not illegal. It's
right.
regulated. It's regulated by the FDIC, it's regulated by all these governmental agencies. So securitization itself is not legal. And especially when you're in default and you're being foreclosed on, you trying to use securitization as a defense. There was a small window when the courts allowed it. They don't allow it like that anymore. And the only cases and when you can raise it in a non-judicial state is after the foreclosure sale. In many jurisdictions, especially California, you can't even file a suit to even stop a foreclosure in a non-judicial state. You have to come file a suit after the sale, after they kick you out. But he's going to go back and watch and do his research and try to, this is something new he didn't know. This is what I'm saying. Like we was debating tonight. Like I don't have to do any research. Like I wouldn't have to do any research. I mean, if I was debating an ex-Fed inmate that been down for 25 years, that studied financing, hey, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Supreme Elite team, I'd be like, yo, hold on. Let me go back to the drawing board. Let me tighten up. Y'all don't talk to me for 2 days. Let me tighten up. Because them old head fake, the gurus I came up under, what?
The best.
You talking about what?
You're rocking with the best.
Mop the floor with the government. These are people I've come up under.
But you see, the burden of proof is on him because this is his first time. You know what I mean? There's nothing for you to invalidate because you've already done it. So what's the argument? What are we debating? You see what I'm saying? Like
right, that's what I'm saying. Like he asked
so
me for a live debate.
Right. So when you go up against someone that's a titan that knows everything, we're not debating about whether a mortgage is legal or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's beyond that.
You can't tell me about anything about a mortgage in a non-judicial state. I was successful the hardest. So how the hell you gonna debate me about a mortgage, and you ain't even reached the mountaintop? You see the false sense of confidence, but we're gonna get into the legal definition for these things. New culture decree, so when I ask people,
You're rocking with the best. You're rocking with the best.
get one of those first, Alan, and then you could talk to me. Get one of those first, then you could talk to me. Get one of those first, then you can try to debate me on mortgages. 1 second. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to keep stopping, but just to...
What was that?
What is anything short? Is this showing up satisfied on her mortgage account? This is called power of attorney over the account, so I can make the call on my behalf, on her behalf.
I haven't even pulled that side. Give me just a moment. That's just interlinked.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes, ma'am.
Just a moment here. Okay, looks like the balance is zero. Okay, looks like the balance is zero. Okay, looks like the balance is zero.
Okay, it looks like the balance is 0. Okay, it looks like the balance is 0. Okay, it looks like the balance is 0. Okay, it looks like the balance is 0.
All right, let's get back to set up. Let's just before this is always their first go round. This ain't my first go round. I've been there, done that before. I all the documents leading up to it. And you know what the problem is with a lot of people? They would rather not see anybody with results, because seeing someone with results really puts their real knowledge and perspectives in perspective. Like, they don't really want to see a person with results if they think you can get it done a different way. I'm telling you all, like I've been saying, it's only one way to win a mortgage. All y'all theory is only one way. It's only one way. I want to hear about your theories. It's only one way to win a mortgage. It's only one way. And then even that one way you come through the door with, it's still the nuances in court that you have to be able to navigate through. And it's going to take in-court experience and years of experience in filing motions and litigating and responding to briefs for you to even get on that level to understand the nuances. The nuances are not in the rule book. They just happen. The more you experience court, the more you understand it. Nobody can teach you it. Nobody can teach you how to prepare for nuances unless you've already been through the nuances, so you can tell your students what to look for and already counter that before it becomes a problem for you. Know how it goes. I got over 100 cases on how to win and 80 cases on how people lose. And I got professionals that work for behind the scenes on this stuff with Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac. So I can show you what satisfaction and lien. I ain't to credit cards yet. More. The purpose of this letter is to confirm that the foreclosure sale of the above mentioned property previously scheduled for August 1st, 2023 was canceled. And y'all remember, Natural, I think you were, Roche. Oh, yeah, Darren, I think you wasn't here yet. Roche, you definitely wasn't here. My client's cousin actually worked for this office. And they was on the phone with Navy Federal. And she said it was about 8 lawyers in the office going over my documents that you just seen. And they called the president and was like, yo, what the hell is going on? How did it get here? It was in August, cancel. They put it back for sale in October, cancel. November, satisfaction of lien. Mortgages, autos, what's up? What's up? But we all know this your first mortgage. Kept asking him in the chat. Oh, since you want to dox conversations, let's talk about the conversation then. I didn't dox first. You did. You didn't even prove none with your docs, but I proved that you don't understand mortgages. And this is your first attempt. Currently, I said before, is this your first? Talking about mortgages. Yes. Why does it matter? Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, if you're going to...
You're rocking with the best.
Of course you're doing that if you're with the Supreme Elite team. But if you had me and then you had Alan, who would you want to represent you on your mortgage? If you're watching, you don't want to comment, you're watching in the cloud, y'all, please just put it in the chat. Someone who's got 15 years of in court, 24 years of just being in court overall, and who's been successful before in a non-judicial state. We ain't talking about they got to sue you in court for the foreclosure because I scalps them left and right. We talking about a non-judicial. So if you're in a judicial state, it's even easier. I can really show out. Who would you want to really represent you? Someone who's already been successful or someone this is their first time? And this is what I'm saying. You know, Alan, I'm just being honest, bro. You know very little about what you think you understand. What you think, your knowledge, I'm telling you, it's a totally different ball game. It don't always play out that way. It don't. You think it's going to play out the way you see it in your head. You're not even preparing for the end arounds and the nuances. And these lawyers are going to attack hard. All you teachers load up on the very first presentment. As soon as you don't get the dismissal on the very first presentment, y'all fish out of water. Every single one of you. You don't know what success feels like. You gambling. You gambling, little buddy. You better know everything you've been posting on your page. I got case law to say. You can't make those arguments anymore. It's not 2011, 2012. It's 2026. And then he was like, oh, why is it different fonts? It's different emails. The emails are different. Jeffrey Gamble, CAC attorney. There's a global outage with Microsoft Outlook, the email server we use at work. I'm going to try to push it through using another email service, but it may not come through until the issue is resolved. So if you see the different emails between me and him, this is why. Smart guy. Smart guy. You know it all. Ain't argue a mortgage a day in his life at 23 years old, but he got the keys to life. Okay. Know it's going to be different emails. They had a problem with their Outlook, so they had to go to another email, but it's from the same attorney. It's from the same attorney. You see what I say? Never got the email, sir. Never got the email, sir. And he resolved. I said, okay, my apologies. See, one thing about, I'm armored truck. Every time they try to take shots at me, it just bounce off because even the person with just a little bit of intelligence knows, nah, this nigga, he legit. Like, nah, he's confirming too. It's been consistent with him. He's legit. Nah, he's legit. We even his own people didn't buy it. His own people didn't buy what he was saying. Ain't nobody comment on it because all his people was in my stories. Everything you see right here was in my stories. They didn't even buy it. He tried to get them to be like, they didn't even buy it. I said, damn, anybody commenting? I told him, I said, damn, you ain't get no comments. And me getting the full title within 30 days of settlement is Google to me. Good morning, Mr. Thomas. Look at the language. In the settlement agreement. And that, when I blocked that at the bottom, is just the credentials in the office and number. I blocked it out. Oh, why is it blocked out? Show the whole thing. The fuck you want to see the blocked out? It's right there. It's like there. Confidential. I can't show it to you, but I best believe I'll show you the title. I best believe as soon as I get the title, I'll show you the title now. And let me tell you something. This is why I say he said he was successful in the auto before, but never showed it. The only thing he showed was this case when they dismissed the arbitration and reopened his account. We don't know the context. We don't know the story behind it. We don't know nothing. But he said that he had my whole case, but I didn't cite no case law, but he has my whole case. Okay. Throughout my whole course of my litigation and put my motion together, we actually held classes on it in the Supreme League team group. Darren, is it true from what you've seen with your own eyes? I don't want you to agree with me. I just don't want you to say yes because you're saying yes. If I'm wrong, then I guess you'll put me on blast and I'll accept it because and I have to know. I have to accept it because I shouldn't be lying anyway. Darren, with your own eyes, do I or do I not cite case law with any of my filings?
Absolutely. That's everything that we start from is case law.
Like
you got
he tried to attack the foundation of what I teach. One of the pillars.
I think one of your filings you had like, was it like 15 or 20 something? Because it was like bam, 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 bam. Oh, and this point, bam, bam, bam. I'm like,
is this from what you've seen?
No, yeah, no, this is what I seen with my eyes. Is we went over it and it was blah 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 blah, bam, blah blah blah, bam, 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 reference, bam, bam. Like,
so
geez.
every argument you're trying to say. So let me summarize it. So for every little argument I made, I had case law to support it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely, okay. without a doubt.
Okay.
Reference this case, and in this case, bam, and this and bam. Like, man, I don't know, man. I don't.
Hey, listen.
This ain't no young whippersnapper. I'll tell you that.
No, I definitely not one of these newbies.
I've been through the fire through real professionals. And you know, one thing that I've noticed, one thing that I didn't fall into the trap like every other teacher online, I know that I'm self-taught. And I do realize that when you're self-taught and don't have the experience and the professional background, I know that your interpretation, you may think it's right, but in the eyes of the judicial system, since you can't see that far because you don't have the experience, you can actually be wrong. And I always told the group, I always wanted to protect myself for being moving solely off self, what I thought was true. I'm an outlier because everything that I used was instinct, what felt right. It just so happened to be confirmed as true by the professionals. But in the process of that, I just didn't read something one time and it confirms with my belief system. Then I go, I read opposing views. I read people that saw something different. I went from the professionals, lawyers. Y'all know the law reviews. I got about 8 or different opinions on one subject. And then from there, I said, okay, I believe it's this way. And then the professionals always confirmed it. So the research involved, what separates me and separates our group from the rest, is that we're willing to go down roads that many teachers and groups just will refuse to go down to because it's going to be too confusing to understand, too time consuming. Like, we've had classes on reading a balance sheet. Do you know that is ultra technical? That's bank examiner's job. We study securities law and accounting. You never find a professional that knows both. They either know one or the other. See, we go the extra mile because one thing that I pride my group on is we're going to attack everything from a professional corporate level. Oh, don't worry. But don't worry, just know that I owe no payments. Let me guess, that's not a screenshot for what everybody's seeing online when I showed them my phone. I manipulated the numbers and the data. So let's just, according to Alan, that's what I did. Right. It'll come in free and clear. No more obligation. Why would I not get? That's not true. What I just sold y'all, even though it's identical to the screenshot, according to Alan, don't listen to it. It's not true. It's not. Why is it not true? The emails look different, but the results are still saying zero balance, and the email is saying is zero balance. But the fonts were not where it thought. I just don't want him to be right about me. I just don't want him to be right. He's right, but I don't want to admit he's right, and I don't want people to see that he's right and he knows more than me, because I thought that I was in this space, that in my circumference, I thought that no one knew more than me. Now my pride and ego is in jeopardy because I may be dealing with someone who has way more understanding than me, and I hate that feeling. Get well, Alan. I got your message. You're sick to your stomach. We could schedule it for Sunday. I'm okay. Get well. Now, all jokes aside, get well. Hit the whip if zero balance. It just sits in the air. It just sits in the air. Let me ask yourselves a question. When you pay off your auto loan and make your final payment, isn't it standard that it takes 30 days for you to get the title? Isn't that in your agreement, your contract agreement? Oh, let me guess, you never read the contract through and through. That's standard 30 days. So when I was trying to tell him 30 days, where's the title? I said, it takes 30 days. Oh, that's bullshit. That's not true. But I'm like, you said you set off an auto before. Why wouldn't you know that it takes up to 30 days? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's just little stuff like, it's little stuff like that.
You got to be able to pay off a car before you can experience that other part of the transaction.
But what I'm saying is, I thought he would know as a teacher that it takes, up to 30 days to get the title.
That's a mistake. It's a rookie mistake.
So let me go here. Up to 30 days. I just told them it takes about, 30 days just to round it off. After making payment, you may receive your title in 2 to 6 weeks. Anywhere from 2 to 6, it depends on whether your state uses an electronic system or mails the physical title. Most lenders processing the lien within 10 business days. Often within 2 to 3 weeks, paper title 3 to 6 weeks. So everything I'm saying is it's within the normal standard time. Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I just got a settlement. You think the title's going to be like right in the mail the next day? Go call your auto. Say, yo, when I finish paying this off, how long would it? They're going to tell you you're not going to get it right then and there. You young 23 punk. You don't know nothing, Najee. You really don't. And you young fake teachers. Even though I just showed that from my phone live, that y'all don't even believe that. That's not even true. Even though it's a screenshot of what you just seen on my phone, don't even believe that. Oh man, these people. You're 23. You haven't been in this long enough, young brother. You haven't. Respectfully, young brother, this your first go around with a mortgage. You don't even understand how in-court arguments and how the court rules and procedures in that district, how they consistently rule in these cases. You still trying to figure out, bro, I'm a vet. You trying to debate me publicly? What? You really trying to do that? Man, I am your teacher's teacher. You don't know that? Oh, your credit card discovery arbitration win. Woohoo! That's 2022. That's 4 years. Where's the next one? That's 4 years. That mortgage, that was for a client. You're trying to get to what I achieved. Remember that. For you try to, I don't know why you could say someone scamming. You're trying to get to what I already achieved. You see what I'm saying? That's what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying, young brother? This is your first time. You ain't tell your people that this your first go round. I kept asking you done it before? You been successful? Yes, but it doesn't matter. It does matter. You don't know what you're doing the first go round. You know how many years it takes for you to understand court and mortgages and autos to raise the claims effectively in court? You don't even know all the court rules. You want to debate me? I'm going to be throwing court rules at you that you never even read. What he's really mad is I blocked out the case file. I blocked it out because now this is the case that I'm talking about here, that he actually ended up doing the reverse research and finding the case. As soon as he found the case, he went to go make a post about it. See what I mean? It takes me to bring something to the forefront. Now he makes a post about it. You get what I'm saying? Like he didn't even know this case exists until I brought it to him. Look, show me the case. Show me the case. You're already supposed to know this case. You get what I'm saying? He didn't even know this case existed. See, I bring things to these so-called teachers. They don't even know this stuff exists until I say something. Oh, shit. Hold on. I know where's it at. There we go. The case file, I blocked it out because when he's posting, this case just invalidated. And this is why he had to make a post to try to save face on what he was saying. Even his post was wrong. Even his post was wrong. You know what I believe? The way he types, I believe he's using ChatGPT to give him answers.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And if he's not, he's just totally misguided. This is just one. He cited Galaski. See, what he does is he uses specific state cases that may not even apply to his jurisdiction and may not even bind it. Like he used the Phyllis Horace versus LaSalle Bank. That was an Alabama case that since then, Alabama courts don't even recognize. It's not even binding. So they're not even going to, okay. Let me explain to y'all what I mean about the difference in understanding. I'm about to give you a prime example.
In 2011, Phyllis Horst versus LaSalle Bank, she got the foreclosure overturned because of defects with the pooling and service agreement, right? From a short span, from about 2011 to 2013, borrowers could challenge defective foreclosures based on the effective assignment and chain of title based on the securitization. What they don't understand is that starting around 2015, the courts made it specific. They took out the all. So if you was in that first wave, you was good. After that, they don't allow you to raise defenses based on the securitization, assignment, chain of title, investor payments as a legal defense. It's only certain contexts and certain situations and how it's argued and how it's the nuances and when it can be raised, and it has to be raised at the right time. And states like California, you cannot use any chain of title, assignment, securitization, investor payments as a preemptive measure to stop a foreclosure. And once again, there's a difference between an assignment being voided and voidable. See, these are the things that I know he's probably going to go back and listen to, but oh shit, let me study this so I can be prepared Sunday. See, this Alan Najee, trust me, if you see me talking like it freely, you best believe I got your counter arguments tucked in the chamber. I'm just giving you a little bit because I already know how to counteract that. Because if you try to use it as an argument, I'm throwing the bait out there to you. I hope you take it. I hope you take everything I'm saying and go research to bring it up for Sunday, because that's what I want you to do. I want you to take the bait so I can go walk you right into a trap, just like I do lawyers and multi-billion-dollar companies. And he's been begging me in the DMs, where's the case? Show me the case. Show me the case. Show me the case. You're supposed to already know the case. So you already supposed to know what to argue. You don't even know about this case, but you want to debate me? I know about all these cases, so I know how to argue mortgages. You don't. Once again, young brother, join my Supreme Elite Team University. You want to argue mortgages like an elite litigator? You want to, and it applies all across the board. And nothing you post, you never even mentioned it. If you would have said it, I'd have been like, you know what you talking about. You don't even know what it's right in front of your face, but you don't even know it exists. I'm telling you, he still don't see it. He don't. And you know what's so crazy about knowing how to argue mortgages? When I finally tell you the correct way with about 100 cases where the judges all saying the same thing, saying I'm right, when you really be like, oh my gosh, that's all it is. Like, he don't even know it's there. And this is the difference between a real litigator and a real teacher. They wouldn't come online freely to the general public and just say it, because there's so many nuances that's still involved with it. Most people think that, oh, he showed it, he posted, oh, got this case. Like, the judge is going to say, okay, in light of Galaski, we're just going to rule on your case the same way. See, most people treat court as an extension of their administrative process. They think that they just rule the same every time. They don't, because the facts and circumstances of each case is the determining factor. But you would know this if you had in-court experience. Obviously, you don't know this. You think citing Galaski and all those cases you've been posting online is going to help you in that client's case. To be honest with you, I'll be honest with you, Alan Najee, the first go round is always the toughest. You're going to be blindsided, bro. And the thing about it is, it's not even you that's going to bear the brunt. It's the people that you're teaching and instructing that has to go to court and argue it. What you think you're going to do, and this is where a lot of people that are rookies, they think that their documents themselves is going to get the case stopped. Like what I did. You don't have enough years in to understand the powerful
understanding to make your documents powerful. Because out of every administrative document, administrative claim, documents that y'all send to the company, if you can't prove to them that you can win this argument in court, they're going to steamroll right over top of you. Your administrative claims have no effect if you can't prove that you can get those enforced in court and win. And if you sit back waiting for them to discharge the case and you don't pull the strings and go file the lawsuit first, you are finding yourself in a tight spot. Go and stop paying and you don't know how to get out of it. See, when I stopped paying July 1st, 2025, I knew how to legally argue it. I knew how to legally defend it. Notice how I stopped paying from July 1st to reach the settlement January 27, 28, from July 1st, 2025 to January 27, 28, 2026, I didn't make a payment, but they never came to take the truck. Darren, am I lying? Roche, am I lying?
Straight facts. No cap.
They never even attempted to take the truck. Want to know why? Because I proved that I could win in court. And then I filed the lawsuit to let them know I'm not playing. I'm dead serious. We're going to litigate this in court. And as soon as the lawyer made an appearance, what did we do? We settled and closed the case.
You're rocking with the best.
And everything that I asked for, they gave me in the settlement. I'm not going to tell you what I asked for, but everything that I asked for, I got it. But go and continue to follow people that you like and you trust, and they talk to you good and they make it sound better. Thomas, your tone, you too arrogant. You need to do this. You need to do this to make me feel better. You need to just tell us. Well, you need to just show us. Yeah. Why don't you take 14 years out of your life and go study intensively? Won't you go do that? Go take 14 years, yeah. Or it may take you 10, may take you 5. That's all you got to do. Just go. Don't file nothing. Take the next 5 to 7 years and just study like I did. Huh? You're going to go through your hiccups along the way. You're going to go through your bumps and bruises. You're going to get your head smacked over the white meat and take those losses and strengthen up your craft and come back stronger. What they want you to believe is, as soon as you step in court, you just win and never lose. You just never lose. Not knowing that court is a profession. It's not a process. And you don't become elite with litigation unless you get your head smacked over the white meat and you get your ass handed to you in court, especially when you first starting out. That's how you learn. See, me, I know that wins and losses are all part of the game. They both serve a good purpose. You actually learn more from a loss than what you do in the win when it comes to court. Because you know what not to do in your case when you see someone's case and they lost. That's why I make it my point in my group to go over cases where people lose just as much, if not more, than when people win. Because you learn more in the losses than you do in the wins. That's the whole problem. But the sad part is, young Najee, you are suffering from Dunning-Kruger effect. You think you know way more than what you really know. And if you really want to debate me, I will debate you publicly tomorrow. And I'm going to show you that you know very little of a system that you think you understand.
You can bring your people, I'm gonna bring my people, and we're gonna let your people and my people decide who wins. Because I'm gonna tell you now, you need to read this right here. You're suffering from it. You know very little about a system that you think you understand. I'm damn near 40. I've been doing this way longer than you. Young boy, you need to sit down
You're
before
rocking
you
with the
find
best.
yourself running just like these other gurus where that case gets dismissed and thrown out and you lose them people's homes. Because once again, you have no prior results. This is your first time. I've already been there, done that. Don't forget.
You're rocking with the best.
Whip it up, he got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global stand. On my wrist like a stage, they can't claim. You look like you wanna let go of stress. What's up? I thought so, okay. I'm back in this symphony, stuck on the band. What's up? I thought so, okay. Yeah. Fresh white tee, chrome on the rim. Big body slide, whole block looks slim. Wrist on chill, but the boy too hot. Turn my last L to a key to the spot. Plug on the phone, say let's slide. Came from the back, now we front row live. Couch full of cash, can't sit, can't fold. Used to pray for a play, now it's overload.
Run it up, run it them bands. Look at that meat, got sauce in my hands. Okay. So, in case you ain't noticed, the debate has been pushed back to Sunday.
Push back to never.
Well,
He's gonna end up canceling again. That's all it is.
well, we'll see. We'll see. But if we do debate, I want him to take this ass whooping as a teaching lesson, like as a humbling experience. Like I want him to really learn from this. I want him to learn from this ass whooping that I'm going to give him Sunday. Like I really want him to learn from it.
Respectfully.
Respectfully. Respectfully. All right. So let's go over. This is the number one thing that plagues gurus, whether they teach the sovereign citizen stuff, whether they teach this stuff. This is what plagues gurus all day, every day. And this is what I prided myself on not falling the victim to. So let's pull it up. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Oh, by the way, let me guess. That wasn't from a real lawyer. The Dunning-Kruger effect. All right. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias that describes the systematic tendency of people with low ability in a specific area to give overly positive assessments of this ability. The term may also describe the tendency of high performers to understate their skills. It was first described by the psychologist David Dunning and Justin Kruger in 1999. See, I even studied the psychology behind this stuff. I know more about the sovereign citizen origins than the people who are that today. I even know, whenever I hear sovereign citizen talk, let me give you an example. From what I hear them say, I can pinpoint the year and the origins where it originated, because they don't study the origins of stuff before they just believe. It's kind of like religion. In popular culture, the Dunning-Kruger effect is sometimes misunderstood as claiming that people with low intelligence are generally overconfident, instead of describing the specific overconfidence of people unskilled at particular areas. So let's look at Alan Najee for a second. He is overly confident that he knows about mortgages. He can win a case. He wants to debate me, but yet he lacks the years and the experience and the training that would make one somewhat of a professional in that area. The Dunning-Kruger effect has been demonstrated across multiple studies in a wide range of tasks from fields such as business, politics, medicine, driving, aviation, spatial memory, examinations in school, and literacy. The original study by Dunning and Kruger focused on logical reasoning, practical. If it seems too good to be true, then maybe it is. Grammar and social skills. The effect is usually measured by comparing self-assessment with objective performance. For example, participants may take a quiz and estimate their performance afterwards, and their estimates are then compared to their actual results. Translation: you got a person that sends a document into the court. Yeah, I'm gonna do this, and it did this, and it did this, and did this. Versus what are the actual results? So when we go back to this, a person may take a quiz and estimate their performance afterward, and the estimates are then compared to the actual result. So when I file lawsuits against credit acceptance, and I'm going over in class, I'm like, yo, I got him. I scalped him. Let's get it. And then my actual results, you get what I'm saying? They kind of mesh. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. I'm retiring the term low-hanging fruit, and now I'm coming with the term the Dunning-Kruger effect. Let's do this. Why? Oh, no. Like a number. Hold on. Scroll up. A number of explanations for and criticisms of the Dunning-Kruger effect have been proposed. The metacognitive explanations hold that poor performers misjudge their abilities because they lack the ability to recognize the qualitative difference between their performances and the performances of others. Meaning, right. So you'll take social media teachers, and then they don't see how other legal professionals argue, but they think their way is better. See, what I did is I take my own performance and I judge it against the professionals. Nah, this ain't it. Nah, this shit on point. Nah, mine ain't it. Nah, this is it. Nah, hell nah. I need to tighten it up. All right. So in order for me to be on the other performance, the professionals, I had to, okay, what are they studying? Okay, well, let me read what they do. Let me read their lawsuits. Let me read their law journal reviews. Let me see their articles and their papers. Let me tap into their brain, see how they understand. Oh, they're talking about this. Okay, let me go research that. So everything that's over here with the professionals, I infuse it over there with me. The statistical explanation holds that the empirical effect may largely be the result of a mere statistical effect and the fact that people have a general tendency to think one is better than average. And this is why I say most of these teachers have what what my affirmation before I pull out my laptop and start working on either my case or someone else's, you know what I tell myself? This is what I do. I'm gonna let y'all know this is what I do. Lamont, you know very little about a system that you think you understand. Why do I tell myself that? Because it triggers in my brain. All right, I got this right. Check and see if it's really right. Go do a stress test on it. Go see opposing views. Okay. All right. I got enough data. Okay, I can input this. All right. Yeah. So it went like this. Hold on. Don't send that. Stop.
Is it really right? You see that's like, hold on. You sure it's airtight? See, that's what my brain's telling me when I'm done. You sure it's airtight? Hold on, let me run a stress test. Let me think. Let me study. Let me reverse research. Let me find holes in it. See, before I finish a lawsuit, you know what I do? I find holes in my own shit. I run it through a stress test. With other gurus, what they believe, what they put on paper, that's the end all be all. They run no stress tests on it. They don't find opposing views on it. What they say is true, that's what they believe is true. And this is not just Alan Najee. This is all of them. What is true is what they believe is true, not whether factual evidence states that it's true or not, based on results. See, if these gurus were basing everything that they were saying and teaching off results, they wouldn't be suffering from the Dunning and Kruger effect. The rationale explanation holds that overly positive prior beliefs about one's skills are the source of false assessment. That's just like when Kenyatta Stone. Like Kenyatta Stone. She believes that since she feels she's correct, that her students don't need to go to a judge or listen to the judge, whether the judge says it's correct or not. And she tries to discredit the judge by calling them administrative judges. Are you going to listen to an administrative judge tell you what's true or not? Now let's analyze that, because that's a classic example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. So she wants to file a lawsuit where a judge has to rule. She wants to take people to court, but her way and how she see it is the authoritative. Her way is the right way. This is what they call a false assessment. And so many teachers fall victim of this, and Alan Najee is included. They fall victim of the false assessment of their own abilities. Another explanation claims that self-assessment is more difficult and error-prone for low performers because many of them have very similar skill levels. This is when you see multiple teachers doing and saying the same thing. It's hard for them to look at each other and measure where they're at. Prime example, me. I can't go to these spaces to see if I know what I'm talking about because I'm head and shoulders above them all. So where do I go? I go for the professionals in this field to assess where I'm really at. There is also disagreement about whether the effect applies and about how strong it is, as well as about the practical consequences of the effect. Inaccurate self-assessment could potentially lead people to making bad decisions. Let's stop right there. Inaccurate self-assessments is what you see all day because their inaccurate self-assessment of their documents and their filings of what they're putting in front of the court, they already believe it's a slam dunk. But what they don't understand is it's nowhere near slam dunk. And then they make bad decisions about putting that on the record. And this is why you see summary judgments are being filed against these so-called teachers and gurus. And I would not be surprised if Alan is like me, posting the case, posting updates, posting statuses. I wouldn't be surprised if they move for summary judgment in this case. Because they definitely are. Based on what I've seen online, they're going to move for summary judgment. If Najee Allen was to send me a copy of his brief, not that I would use it, I don't need to use it because I got clients we're in court already filed my briefs for their foreclosure. I don't need it. I don't want no evidence from it. There's nothing about securitization he can tell me that I'm a bite off. There's nothing. I learned from the professionals with securitization. There's nothing he could say that they haven't already told me times 10. But if he was to send me a copy of his brief, I would actually file a response brief like I was a litigator, like I was the opposing attorney. And we would see like, okay, which one would you think were fair in court? If he would love to do it, I would do it. Send me his brief. I'm just going to respond to his brief. I guarantee I'm going to find 5,000 holes in this case. But I think it would be beneficial for him to do that because at least he would know what to tighten up on before he files. Because he thinks he has a slam dunk airtight case in which all of them think they do. This is an inaccurate self-assessment. The Dunning-Kruger effect is the tendency of people with a low ability in a specific area to give overly positive assessments of this abilities. You see this day in and day out in these spaces. This is often seen as cognitive bias, that is, a systematic tendency to engage in erroneous forms of thinking and judging. And this is what I mean when I say they all think they're right. They think it's the right way and can't nobody tell them nothing. Alan Najee has produced those same behaviors. He thinks he's right, can't be told nothing, and he has found the Holy Grail. In the cases of the Dunning-Kruger effect, the systematic error concerns people with low skill in a specific area trying to evaluate their competence within this area and their tendency to greatly overestimate their competence. They do that day in and day out online. They think they know so much on the area, but they know very little. The Dunning-Kruger effect is usually defined specifically for the self-assessments of people with a low level of competence. But some theorists do not only restrict it to the bias of people with a low skill, but also use it to describe the reverse effect, the tendency of highly skilled people to underestimate their abilities relative to the abilities of others. Sometimes I do that. I downplay myself a lot in group. I downplay myself a lot, contrary to popular belief.
You do,
And this,
and then we'd be like, but wait, Lamont, it's this, because humility definitely has its place. However, for somebody to have taken the time, and that's what separates you, for you to have taken the time to sit down and read the boring shit, and then not only read it but understand it, and then not only understand it but put it in action, and then not only understand, put it in action, read, but also you can break it down in layman's terms, and you can use the technical terms. So I say all that to say, not to call you the Messiah or whatever, but as far as leadership and you downplaying yourself, I understand that you have a need to do that, but at the same time, I don't let you sleep on yourself. So I mean, I understand why you do that, but just speaking on myself, and I'm sure that a lot of other people that have come across you would have the same sentiment. You have literally been able to disseminate information to me that has been life-changing. So do what you need to do as far as, playing it cool. But, I mean, I know what you've done for me.
100. Appreciate that. In this case, the source of the error may not be the self-assessment of one's skills, but an overly positive assessment of the skills of others. This phenomenon can be understood as a form of the false census effect, the tendency to overestimate to the extent to which other people share one's beliefs, attitudes, and behaviors. Some researchers include a metacognitive component in their definition. In this view, the Dunning-Kruger effect is the thesis that those who are incompetent in a given area tend to be ignorant of their own competence. Which goes back to my statement when I say they know very little about a system that they think they understand. Alan Najee thinks he's a master at mortgages. He thinks he has it all down pat. But me, that's been down that road many years before him, sees the errors in his own thinking. And just like every single one of them, they all lash out and try to attack me when I'm exposing something that if they were just to take heed, they would understand that, oh shit, there was a teacher on TikTok. I comment on his post. We talk behind the scenes. He actually said, yo, thank you. You opened my eyes to some shit I didn't even know was there. 100, shout out. Appreciate you. Because I'm trying to tell people, the false assessment of your own skills is one of the quickest ways to lose every time. And this is why people lose in these spaces. They're too highly confident in areas that they have very little understanding of. They lack the metacognitive ability to become aware of their incompetence. That's why I give my affirmations. Lamont, you know very little about this that you would think you understand. Want to know why? Because that protects me from being like them. I don't get too high like I know it all. I attack everything like it's my first day. I still continue to study. I still continue to research. Even though I know it, I still study. I still learn. I still grow. I still do it. Want to know why? Because that extra confidence, like you just know it all, it consumes everybody. As incompetence often includes being unable to tell the difference between competence and incompetence, it is difficult for the incompetent to recognize their incompetence. And this is why I say they never want to be wrong. They have to be right. They all right. And if anybody says that they're wrong, they're going to attack them. But they all have to be right because they can't fathom or realize that they've just been wrong. They will fight you tooth and nail. File appeals, come along. The judge is a conspiracy. But one thing that they will never look at is maybe I was wrong in my lawsuit. Maybe I shouldn't have tried to sue a sitting judge because they are protected by judicial immunity and lawyers who are presiding over a case. Maybe I shouldn't file a lawsuit against them just because I don't like their ruling. But if you try to tell them, they're going to attack you because they lack the ability to see their own incompetence, even though others who are high level competence can see it clearly. And this is a deadly cocktail, especially if you're taking on someone's mortgage case and this is your very first one. This is sometimes termed the dual burden account. Since low performers are affected by two burdens, they lack a skill and they are aware of this deficiency. Oh my gosh, this is taking it. This is
You're rocking with the best.
like I've been saying, he lacks a skill, but you don't even realize you lack it. Other definitions focus on the tendency to overestimate one's ability and see the relation to metacognition as a possible explanation that is not part of the definition. This contrast is relevant since the metacognitive explanation is controversial. Many criticisms of the Dunning-Kruger effect target this explanation, but accept the empirical findings that low performers tend to overestimate their skills, and they do it all day, every day online. They do it all day, every day, and don't even realize that they're doing it. Among lay people,
The Dunning-Kruger effect is often misunderstood as the claim that people with low intelligence are more confident in their knowledge and skill than people with high intelligence. According to psychologist Robert D. McIntosh and his colleagues, it is sometimes understood in popular culture that the claim is that stupid people are too stupid to know that they are stupid. But the Dunning-Kruger effect applies not to intelligence in general, but to skills in specific tasks like research, litigation skills, when to make the argument, how to structure the argument, when is the right time to make the argument, when do you hold back for later stages, what to attack at the beginning, what not to attack, because you know based on case law that those arguments have been denied before, when to go this way, when to use court doctrines, when to not use it, when to go in, when to go left, when to go right, when to say this, when to say that, when to skill. Court is a strategic ability in which one gains understanding over years of experience. You just don't start studying and researching and now you're there, especially at 23. People at 23, they're still in law school. Lawyers at 23, they're not challenging mortgages, they're still in school. The Dunning-Kruger effect. Nor does it claim that people lacking a given skill are as confident as high performers. Rather, low performers overestimate themselves, but their confidence level is still below that of high performance. And I've seen that with Alan Najee. I noticed that in his post that I can see he's not really confident. He's appearing as such. That's why he has to keep posting and trying to explain it. But deep down inside, he really knows that he's taking on someone's mortgages. That's not something you can go to sleep easy at night over. If he messes up, they lose their home. The problem what I was trying to point out to him, that he's already making critical errors, that he's going to be dead on arrival. Just like all others. They're going to be dead on arrival. You're going up against multi-billion-dollar corporations with high-power lawyers. So you have to get out of how you see it, how you want to go, and you got to assess the situation for what it is. But people like Alan Najee, all these other people online, Kiana Stone, they refuse to take that inner look at themselves because according to them, they got it all figured out. Ain't got no results to show, but they got it all figured out. Kiana, she lost that $1.7 million home. She didn't even know she was going to lose it. She thought she was going to win. So she made posts lying to cover it up. And then her vehicle, you ain't see a lawsuit on that. But yet she's teaching and holding classes and master class. And I heard she's about to start a university, go figure, in a master securitization class with the overconfidence that she understands to the point where she can teach, but her own performance is still that of someone who does not have a clear understanding of what they think they understand, because her performance has been very low, but her confidence is which lets her to throw these classes out there, throw these master classes, but her actual performance has been very below average. This is the Dunning-Kruger effect that we're talking about. And Kiana Stone is a classic example of the Dunning-Kruger effect. She overestimates her abilities, but her performance is still below average. The most common approach to measuring the Dunning-Kruger effect is to compare self-assessment with objective performances. The key word in that is objective. I tell my students all the time, we approach this from an objective standpoint, not what I believe to be true, but not what I want to be true. And everybody that's on here right now, who's on here, Darren, you could tell. What did I say? What I say don't matter.
Right, your opinions, what you
My
believe.
opinions don't matter.
Right.
I say what I say don't matter. This is just what it is. And me personally, y'all, I don't have a particular opinion about the system because it's a waste of time. Oh, it's fraud. I don't have an opinion. It just is what it is. I deal with what it is. And too many people are too emotionally invested in their own situations to be filing lawsuits. They are emotionally invested. They feel like they automatically think that some type of wrong has been done to them. And then that emotion and that anger that something has been wrong to them, they feel like they have to counteract by trying to expose some fraud. Every time I see someone that's talking about fraud in these spaces, it's always tied to some emotional filing in which they didn't like the outcome. The self-assessment is sometimes called subjective ability in contrast to the objective ability corresponding to the actual performance. The self-assessment may be done before or after the performance. If done afterwards, the performance received no independent clues during the performance as how they did, meaning nobody's going to tell them you got it wrong. They're either going to block you, ban you, shame you. They never get a outside, independent, non-interested party to assess them like I have. I got a person that has no dog in any of my fights assess me. And before I knew that was happening, can you imagine as a guru having someone in your group that is connected to top professionals? So every time you're talking this stuff in the group, they're running back to the professionals to give their take. Can you imagine if I didn't know what I was talking about, I was capping, with the homie in the group would have came back and said, because he's booted, he done called a lot of them out before because he's friends with the ex-SEC attorney. He was fact checking me and I never knew he was doing it. So can you imagine all these other teachers having an independent person really assess them? They wouldn't be able to take it because they believe their way is the right way and they can't look at their own incompetence in their own so-called competence. They don't think they're wrong. They think they're 100% right. But they have very little experience and skills to even give that self-assessment on themselves. At least I waited till about year 7 or 8 to start giving an assessment on myself. I knew for the first 5 years, I'm a baby. I don't know shit. I wasn't out my 3rd year studying, trying to file lawsuits or trying to represent people. Hell no, I ain't in no position yet. When done in relative terms. Oh, hold on. Thus, if the activity involves us answering quiz questions, no feedback is given as to whether a given answer was correct. The measurement of the subjective and objective abilities can be in absolute or relative terms. When done in absolute terms, self-assessment and the performance are measured according to the objective standards, e.g. concerning how many quiz questions were answered correctly. So, the measurement of the subjective and objective abilities can be in absolute or relative terms. When done in absolute, self-assessment and performance are measured according to the objective standards. So, prime example, like Kiana Stone filed a lawsuit. She was trying to get the house. She lost the case. So that loss is the measuring stick that really confirms what she really knows. Another thing, she was teaching about the coupon, the issuing the checks, teaching that. She got her vehicle repossessed. That's a measurement stick to say that, yo, you don't really know where you're at. So the thing about what these gurus are, what makes them so disingenuous, they get the objective outcomes, the losses, the dismissals, but what they'll do is they'll come online and spin a narrative like they really won, or they'll tell you that they won, but you'll never see the documents and the actual results, or they'll come on and say they won when they really lost, because the reality is the actual objective outcomes of their performance
is the reality that they refuse to accept. See, when a judge dismisses their case, they are never going to say, I need to go back to the drawing board. When the judge dismisses their case, they go to file lawsuits against the judge, claiming corruption and conspiracy, or they'll come online and say they just don't want the truth to get out. That's the Dunning-Kruger effect. They're so highly overassessed themselves that there's no way that they can believe that they're not where they think they are. And this is why if you go on their panel, questioning them or challenging their position, they want to mute you, they want to block you out, they don't want to let you talk. Did you get what I'm saying? This is the Dunning-Kruger effect. But these are all the so-called teachers in these spaces. Okay. Now, when done in relative terms, the results are compared with a peer group. In this case, participants are asked to assess their performance in relation to other participants. So in a peer group, this is why they don't ever want to put their results up against mine, because if they put the results up against mine, they'll realize that they're really here. Even though they said they're here, they're really here. So what they'll do is they'll start comparing and only congregate with people who think like them, because the people who think like them already believe there's fraud in the system. They already believe that there's something wrong with the system. They already believe there's a scam out against them. So when the teachers showed that the case got dismissed, they can spin it and say, see, y'all see the scam? So people won't be objective like, nah, what about what you filed was incorrect? What did you do so wrong? They'll look at it like, yeah, look at the scam. Yeah, we feel you. They just don't want the truth to get out. See, they can use that as a cover because deep down inside the guru, they know that they were really wrong, but they just don't want to accept the reality that they don't really know as much as they think they know. And then the pressure is on them because they got so many people in their lives reaching out to them for services, depending on them, tapping in. So they can't give the people the impression that they don't really know what they know. So they double down, triple down, but there's no growth in it. You see what I'm saying? Y'all see the mindset. There's no growth in that. You're just self-sabotaging yourself. And they can't pivot on a dime because people believe the same way. So if they was to go to their people and say, nah, y'all, this ain't it, this ain't what it is, they're scared that people are going to leave. Well, why would you be scared of people leaving from the actual reality truth? Because they need the money as well. So they're stuck in this talking point that they can't get out of because they don't want to take the time to find a new audience to pay them for their talking points. So they rather stick to telling people what they want to hear, knowing deep down inside it's not true and won't have any effect. See, I get real deep with this stuff. Okay, in this case, participants, for example, in the form of estimating the percentages of peers they outperform. Once again, who are they going to use to estimate who they outperform? Who can they use? Since there's it's a void there, they still proceed like what they're doing is correct. But if you had a teacher like on TikTok talking about, I know how to get out of mortgages, looks like the people on Facebook. I get you out of auto. I know how to handle autos. And then I show up. You see what I'm saying? Now it takes them out of the peer. Look. It takes them out of the relatives and it puts them in the absolute. It takes them out of the relatives and puts them in the absolute, because now with me, I have absolute evidence that I know what I'm talking about. And this is why they never want to engage with me, or they don't want to talk to me, or they want to act like I don't exist, because they don't have nothing tangible to combat me with. So they disengage. But since they know I have tangible results, they'll sit and watch from the clouds and see if they can pick up something new that can help them secretly get the results that I've already gotten. That's how it works.
The Dunning-Kruger effect is present in both cases, but tends to be significantly more pronounced when done in relative terms. Remember the relative terms, peer versus peer, not absolute terms when the actual outcomes from the performance speaks. Like my settlement. My settlement is indicative of my performance. If I did not perform on that level, I wouldn't have got the settlement. See, with them, they perform, theirs is the relative, meaning they're judging each other amongst each other. And since none of them has results to show amongst each other, they all think that they're doing, they know what they're talking about. Relative, peer versus peer, all on underperforming level. That's exactly what it is. You'll never see these teachers go up against the absolutes. Like one thing that you'll never do, you'll never see these teachers. And I'm talking about in good faith, not no fabricated wins, not no fabricated emails or texts, straight up real results that's filed in the court record. Like that's filed in the court record. Like Order 21, stipulation of dismissal filed by credit acceptance. Me and credit acceptance, the case is dismissed. The case is closed. Look, case terminated January 28th with the stipulation of dismissal. See, they don't want to judge themselves against that. Especially when I show all the stipulation, the case, the zero balance and all that. See, they don't want to show, they can't compete with that. So they got to stay in a relative level with everybody else that's low performers. And these are your teachers online. The Dunning-Kruger effect is present in both cases, but tends to be significantly more pronounced when done in relative terms. People are usually less accurate when assessing how well they did relative to their peer group than when simply predicting their raw score. Once again, it's their peers on peers. Well, the New Culture Empire Supreme Elite team, we judge ourselves based on top elite professionals. You see what I'm saying? Our standards are what the professionals do. Our standards, if I was judging my standards based on everybody else, we would be no growth because we're already head and shoulders above. So we take it to the next level and we judge our work based on the top professionals. Darren, can you please chime in? Darren is not available to chime.
Yeah, no. I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a great point because it's like whenever we do have group, we're going over, like even personal cases. I mean, there's more than one person in our group that has some type of success.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
too.
like,
You have to sex yourself.
yeah,
Based
yeah,
on hold on, let me tell you this. Based on the stuff I teach in the group, and I don't even teach what you got success in. So you was able to apply the core principles and find your own lane. Because I don't teach what you
right,
did.
right, and that's the foundation of the group, and it keeps the Dunning Kruger effect away because we're always critiquing, and there was
Yes.
a certain situation. I don't want to go into much
Yeah.
detail, but we made a pivot. Hey,
Yes.
we thought it was this, and it wasn't the best example of what we
Yes.
could do and what was available.
Yep.
So that's 100%. You definitely have to have a peer group that is
Yes.
not only either at your level or more advanced than what you
Yes.
understand.
Yes.
So, and it goes to what you just said. Like I've had success in things that it's not far off, but it's the foundation is there, and that's
Right.
what we're able to apply from what is learned or what is reviewed over in the group. And when you have someone that's inexperienced in the sense of they're 23 years old, there's not much experience there. I mean, you just graduated. I mean, what is your biggest financial transaction that you've had since high school? And I mean, there are outliers. There's people that win the lottery at 18 or they're traders, but that's not realistic.
Right. Not on the average every day. And
No,
and
no.
and the thing that make what I actually liked about your case is you took the core principles of the group and applied it in a totally different realm. But it's not too far off. I get you. The realm is not too far off, but you took the core principles. You know how hard it is to take core principles in these specific subjects and apply it really to another different subject. You know how much connections you have to make to the two. Like that was, you got to give you flowers on that. That was an amazing job with the stuff you sent me in my Telegram group. Those are amazing jobs, man. I give you flowers on that.
Appreciate it.
Same
But I
thing with
mean, it goes to what it was stating about intelligence, right? Like some of the signs of a high intelligent individual is that they can take something that's so complex and then they can break it down to make it so simple so that everyone can understand. So it's like when you have someone that isn't as and it's subjective, right? Like people can be highly intelligent and not know procedure, like
yes.
they don't know how to tie their shoes or
Yep.
these things. But in the sense of this case, we are taking highly complex transactions, advanced accounting, and we're making it so little bite-sized uh not
Yes.
transactions, but it's almost like a little mini course to where, like, hey, in this context you can apply it here. Now, does it
Yes.
have to do with a mortgage or a vehicle? No, but
No.
it's still within the realm of a financial
Yep.
transaction.
Yep.
So it's and that's what it is about the nuances, right? Like,
Yes.
court is a whole separate monster besides you actually communicating with
Yes.
a legal
Yes.
team. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because as soon as you send something, right? Because you got to take it, you got to look at it from their end. They're in the business to make money. So you are going to them to say, hey, I agree that I'm going to pay you this on this date XYZ, and then all of a sudden a week later you're sending in paperwork that it was fraudulent. Like, how disingenuous is that? So
But that right there, that is the reality that we have in our group. And Darren, I think you brought the Dunning-Kruger effect to me before I even made it a term. I remember and I made a short out of it. You said they are so consumed about getting out of their debt that they don't even realize how ridiculous it sounds. That
right,
was the Dunning and Kruger effect. And I don't pass judgment on people who things got hard, life took a bad turn, lost a job, can't pay anymore. I trust me, I had more than my fair share of setbacks, more than I like to admit. I know what it's like to go home at night with gallons of water so we could flush the toilet because 3 bills had to be paid, but mom only had enough for 2. It's either gas, water, electric. And in
right,
the winter, we needed that gas and the electric. Water had to go. Next month, water, gas. Hey, electric, candles. I know what the struggle feels like. Trust me.
right,
So, but even with people with mortgages and autos, it's so hard for me because I know just by understanding the system, I know for a fact that anybody with an auto or mortgage, I know for a fact through my hundreds and hundreds of pages of documents I read across multiple mortgage debt buyers, autos, credit card companies. I know that they're in deals that I know I can prove in court with case law that they don't even owe the contractual balance. So in theory, they are correct by not wanting to pay more than what they really owe, but they just don't understand the legal ways that you have to go about doing it. You can't just stop and be like, "Oh, get this." There has to be it's a process within itself. But I
right.
don't, whatever made you stop wanting to pay and they trying to come after you, that's your business. I really don't get to that pack. The only thing I just tell people is when you talk to me, you get a consultation. Don't start the conversation off like you sent in a document and now they want to repossess. Like just don't gaslight me, because no company is going to repossess just because you send uh, a document and contesting whatever you want to contest on the contract. If you stop paying, be honest with the real reason why you stop. And I try to give people a way out by telling them, I've talked to hundreds of people on the phone. What really happens is things get too tough and they really can't pay anymore, or don't have the ability to pay, or just don't want to pay. So they look for these little pseudo legal reasons why they're not paying. And then they start sending documents based on that. But the underlying reason is that they just can't afford to pay or don't want to pay. Why do I need them to say that on the phone? The reason why I need to them say that, because I want them to hear themselves. I want them to hear them say that. Because we have to stop treating these spaces as a place to come when you don't want to honor your obligations anymore. Like we have to stop. Like, I don't want to pay anymore. All right, let me go find someone. If you don't want to pay anymore, be honest and say that. I still know how to help. I still know how to spin it. I still know how to argue it. But don't come with, like, they just started picking your name out the litter and start attacking you and coming after you for no reason. Because we know that's not true. We know that's not true. Like Najee Allen, he sent me a settlement where they would drop the arbitration and reinstate his credit card in arbitration. And I told him, see, that's the difference between me and you. You got to go through arbitration. In this credit card account, there was an arbitration clause, but I invalidate that and skip right by it. I don't think when he posted those screenshots on his page, he didn't post that, but I'm here to tell you. Thank you for your recent communication. We have reviewed our records and are writing to provide the following updates. We have closed your account and ceased collections. You have no further obligation to this account. Please call Consumer Support Services at 877-382-4063 if you have any questions. This is with Midland Credit Card, and you see my name at the top. I've been there, done that. Mortgage, autos, credit card, tax. I've been there, done that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not talking to someone who doesn't have years of experience, professionals to keep me grounded, wisdom, understanding. Out of my knowledge, listen, wisdom, number one, understanding, then my knowledge. That's what governs me. Because I have years of experience. And the experience factor is what separates me from a lot of these other teachers. The experience. The good, the bad, the ugly, the wins, losses, and draws. But I just like to keep it 100% honest with everybody who I come at, every client. And some clients, they don't like what I got to say, but I'm not going to go against my integrity and not keep it 100% honest with you. There's been plenty of clients that I had to tell, listen, we're going to respond to this, but I don't think we're going to win. Based on your original filing, you reference a lot of sovereign citizen rhetoric. You try to send instruments in to pay the debt. The FBI knocked on your door behind it. I don't see a judge going to see it in your favor. Like, there's been plenty of people had to say that. But I'll try to spin it the best way I can. And remember, you came to me in the fourth quarter. So you tried this, didn't work. You tried this, didn't work. You tried this, didn't work. People think court is Whoever's the next man up, that's what court starts for them. Like the judge is going to ignore everything you put on the record before. You get what I'm saying? Like the judge is going to just ignore everything you put before, not knowing, and me knowing that these lawyers, they're going to attack your initial filing. So when they move for summary judgment, they're not moving on summary judgment based on what I filed. They've already moved for summary judgment based on what you filed. And these are one of the perils of trying to come to someone in the fourth quarter. If you're going to come to me, you come to me before any document has been filed. That's your best chance of winning. Don't come to me after you tried this student, this teacher, this ain't work, that work. Now you need me to clean up their messes, because most people, that's what you really want. You want me to clean up the other teacher's messes more than to get you back to your original position. And too many people were reaching out to me for me to clean up other teachers' messes, and I've turned them down. If I was so money hungry, I would have just accepted the money, knowing they're already going to lose. And I told them, no, this case is flooded with sovereign citizen stuff. I can't take it. No, I'm not having my name associated with none of that. If I was trying to just get money out of everybody, you know how many people I've turned down in 2025 because I seen the procedural posture in their case, and I'm just like, nope, 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 no, hell no. You don't put all this garbage on the record. I'm not putting my expertise behind that. Absolutely not. You can withdraw all those filings, then reach back out to me and do things the correct way. Because I'm about doing things the right way. Not my way, not how I want it to go. I do shit the right way. The main point of interest for researchers is usually the correlation between subjective and objective ability. To provide simplified term forms of analysis of the measurements, objective performances are often divided into 4 groups. They start from the bottom, quartile of low performers and proceed to the top quartile of high performers. The strongest effect is seen for the participants in the bottom quartile, who tend to see themselves as being part of the top 2 quartiles when measured in relative terms. The initial study by Dave Dunning and Justin Kruger examined the performance of self-assessment of undergraduate students in inductive, deductive, and abductive logical reasoning, English grammar, and the appreciation of humor. Across 4 studies, the research indicates that the participants who scored in the bottom quartile overestimated their test performance and their abilities. Their test scores placed them in the 12th percentile, but they ranked themselves in the 62nd percentile. Other studies focus on how a person's self-view causes inaccurate assessments. The self-view. I see the world as this. There is no money. Only gold and silver is money. The banks are fraud. Yeah, y'all see that the way they see the world, especially with these soft sits, the way they see the world is what really makes any document that they send dead on arrival. If I was to tell a sovereign citizen that your documents are wrong, that private bond that you're about to send in to tap into your estate, if I was to tell them, yo, you know, they filed stuff like that for 30 years, and some of them got prosecuted and others, nothing ever happened. Do you realize they will argue me down that what they're doing is correct? That I don't know what I'm talking about? Do you know that that's what they would do to me? Because they're looking at it from how they see it and what they believe is true, and they think they're correct. I'm looking at it from objective and the performance of the absolute. What were the results of this? What were the results of this? Even to the sovereign citizens, when I call them one based on the buzzwords and things that they say, in which people who actually called themselves sovereign citizens said 30 years before them, even their responses, I tell them, you don't even realize that your responses have been passed down to you. There's no such thing. Hold on. There's no such thing What did they? Hold on. Let me tell you what they say. I got what they say. Hold on. I got it. Let me just cue it up. I gotta cue it up. What did they say? There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. You can't be a sovereign and a citizen. A sovereign citizen is an oxymoron. In the 90s, they were telling people in those groups, yo, we've been receiving a lot of slack from the courts labeling sovereign citizens. So when you get called a sovereign citizen, this is what you say to them. There's no such thing as a sovereign and a citizen because, and honestly, you can't be sovereign and a citizen because if you're sovereign, you can't be a citizen of the United States. Sovereign citizen is an oxymoron who doesn't understand their position where they're at. You get what I'm saying? Oh, what? There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. That's not in the legal grammar words. Even their own responses are passed down, and they don't even down, but I know it's passed down because I know they've been saying that since the 90s. So by you coming in 2026 saying that, what do you think I think? Other studies focus on how a person views causes inaccurate self-assessments. Some studies indicate that the extent of the inaccuracy depends on the type of task and can be improved by becoming a better performer. Overall, the Dunning-Kruger effect has been studied across a wide range of tasks in aviation, business, debating, chess, driving, literacy, medicine, politics, spatial memory, and other fields. Many studies focus on students, for example, how they assess their performance after an exam. In some cases, these studies gather and compare data from different countries. Studies are often done in laboratories. The effect has also been examined in other settings, including assessments of hunters' knowledge of firearms and large internet surveys. And this is a long one. This is long. So I'm going to y'all please look please look into this. But I want to get to these last three. Let me get to these last three. The rationale model of the Dunning-Kruger effect explains an observed regression towards the mean, not as a statistical artifact, but as the result of prior beliefs. Like people who believe the government has no authority, there's only but one constitutional court, etc. If low performers expect to perform well, this can cause them to give an overtly positive assessment. This model uses a psychological interpretation that differs from the metacognitive explanation. It holds that the error is caused by overly positive prior beliefs and not by the inability to correctly assess oneself. For example, after answering 10 quiz questions, a low performer with only 4 correct answers may believe they got 2 questions right and 5 questions wrong, while they are unsure about the remaining 3. Because of their positive prior beliefs, they will automatically assume that they got these 3 remaining questions right and thereby overestimate their performance. Because their prior beliefs, like Kenyatta Stone, she actually thought that there was a secret account at the Treasury in which she can use to purchase a $1.7 million home, a mansion, a very beautiful mansion at that, by just writing a check payable by the Treasury. If she didn't believe that was true, she would have never tried it. So since she believed it was true, she already assumed that she was going to be able to get it done because her prior beliefs thinks that this is correct. And when the absolute outcomes, the rejection came, you see her started posting online. They're wrong. The judge said that they stole my money, which were all lies. Everything on her posts were lies because we went over the whole case on social media, the expose. We read the whole case file. The judge didn't mention anything. So what made her make those posts? Because when the reality comes in contact with the belief, the reality is so strong that it can't be accepted because the belief is stronger.
So they can't accept the reality. So they have to find ways to explain away the reality. So when I was in her live, I tried to say, won't you show your people your case? She said, I don't have to show them nothing. Why is that important? Because she knows just like I know. She read those documents before I did. This is why she had to go online and spin a narrative. When I say show people your case, that's the reality. She knows what the reality is going to expose her performance. So she can't show the case. So she says, I don't have to show. So I know we think that these people are just scamming, but I think it's a deeper psychological effect of the need to be right. They got their belief systems, they got their future, just like a person who think there's $100 billion sitting in our accounts. In their mind, this could take me out of my reality. This could take me out of this debt I'm in. Oh, I can buy properties. I can leave this. So in their mind, they start spending the money in their mind already. See, they see what can happen as a result of accessing 100 billion, and that's what gets them to chase. But since they've already seen their future with the 100 billion, it's hard for them to see their future without the 100 billion, because the reality of their future without the 100 billion is more unbearable. They can't bear it. So they have to stay in the mindset of it's going to come. No matter how many times the government said it's not real, these are non-existent, it never exists. They can't take that as reality because it's going to mess up their mindset. This is the Dunning and Kruger effect. The further explanation sometime, another model sees the way high and low performers are distributed as the source of erroneous self-assessment. It is based on the assumption that many low performers' skills levels are very similar, i.e., many people are piled up at the bottom rungs of skill level. This is why you see similar teachers online all saying the same thing. They never you see they all talk about the same thing. You can find 20 channels. Your birth certificate is there. Oh, AMC is there. Oh, your birth certificate. They all say the same thing. This will make them more difficult for them to accurately assess their skills in relation to their peers. According to this model, the reason for the increased tendency to give false assessments is not a lack of cognitive ability, but a more challenging situation in which this ability is applied. One criticism of this interpretation is directed against the assumption that this type of distribution of skill levels can always be used as an explanation. While it could be found in various fields where the Dunning-Kruger effect has been researched, it is not present in all of them. Another criticism holds that this model can explain the Dunning-Kruger effect only when the self-assessment is measured relative to one's peer group, but that it may fail when it is measured relative to absolute standards. This is where it gets interesting, because it says, another criticism holds that this model can explain the Dunning-Kruger effect only when the self-assessment is measured relative to one's peer group, but that it may fail when it is measured relative to absolute standards. That is the new culture empire.
You're rocking with the best.
Their self-assessments, it's all based on their one's belief, the other peers in their group. The new culture empire is the absolute side. This is the definition of receipts, black and white facts. I can show you how to get out of an auto. I can show you how to get out of a mortgage. I can show you I know how to litigate. Got black and white facts to back it up. They have beliefs to back them up. You see the difference? So when we put absolute facts against their beliefs, it crumbles. But they know this is the reality.
So they don't really shut me down. What they'll do is, this is what they'll do. Got a post come. This is what they'll do. Hey y'all, so we're gonna do the ASC now. We're gonna do this, yeah, because accounting, ASC 860, effective control, yeah, we're gonna do this. Thomas like, oh, they're the new culture post in the group. Okay, y'all, this is what we're gonna do. That's what they do. I'm their source of information because they view me as the absolute. All these other teachers, they see my receipts. I'm absolute to them. So if they could find a way to get the same absolutes I got while still sticking to their main core mindset and what they teach, it'll be heaven for them. In such further explanation, sometimes given by theorists in an economic background, focus on the fact that participants in the corresponding studies lack incentive to give self-assessments. What's the incentive for these teachers to get self-assessments of themselves? Nobody in their group is going to challenge them. Nobody in their group knows what they know. Let me pull the curtain back. Every person that you see online, they all think that everybody in their group doesn't know as much as them. They all believe that they don't know as much as them. And in many cases, that's true. This is why you see them all get bent out of shape when I pop up in their chats and their lives. You see how if you've been on my team and you follow me, y'all have noticed that they've all gotten bent out of shape as soon as I come around. Because when a person comes in their live, it's expected that everybody in the group knows very little than them. That anybody that's popping it, it's already expected. And since they're not used to being challenged, they don't know how to accept when being challenged by me. So just like when they say, yeah, mortgage, Title 42, 1983. And I say, man, what does Title 42, 1983 have to do with a simple mortgage in the state? See, you're not listening. You're not listening. I'm trying to tell you, your rights were violated. Your rights are violated. Man, what rights are those? See, once again, you're not listening. I'm trying to tell you, right? See, it's the gaslighting. And see, I'm just playing along with them because I'm on their panel. But in that split second, I know that they know very little about a system that they think they understand, aka the Dunning and Kruger effect.
And what do they tell you? Moderators block them. Close the doors. Close the doors.
I get blocked. Am I being disrespectful? Am I being loud and combative? Or I'm just trying to get clarity and ask questions? I already know the answer to the question I'm asking.
Yeah,
Why am I blocked?
Just because you're making too much noise. Not in the sense that you're arguing, but just you're going against what they're teaching by asking the questions that you ask.
This is the thing with these gurus. You will get blocked by asking questions. Roche. Brother Roche, you with us?
What's going on?
What's going on, broski? Hey, you work at a Big Four accounting company, one of the Big Four in the whole world. Remember we was talking, you were trying to explain to me that it wasn't that easy to pick up, and I was in the group, I was like, easy pick up. Can you explain to the people about what you learned, and let's say your senior year in college and your time at your company that you're at now versus what we go over in our group?
Yeah, so school, college, it's a lot of learning the concept. You learn a lot of information that'll help you in terms of taking the CPA exam. Now that I've taken one part of it. It's really understanding the fundamentals, the basics. You don't really dive deep into any type of accounting standard at all. But it's more about the mechanics of how to account for certain things, accounting estimates, accounting changes,
Yep.
different things like that.
Which is good.
Um,
Which is good.
yeah, it's good. It's good
It's good.
information to have as a foundation. At Deloitte, unfortunately, when depending on what department you're in, but either way, when you first start out, um, you learn you're kind of doing administrative tasks. You're not really learning the tax law. You're not understanding how certain principles are applied when filing specific forms. You're kind of it's stages in the corporate world. So I'm at the bottom. So
Yeah.
this
Yeah. Yeah.
information, and even with that being said, the information that you're teaching is still it's it's not something you would typically learn, um, even at Deloitte. Like you would have to be in a specific group that specializes in a specific accounting standard that aligns with exactly what you're teaching. Securitization. I mean, and even with that being said, it would be a single aspect of it. All right, like from an investment management perspective, from a how to file your taxes. Well, I wouldn't even say how to file your taxes, but more of just like not getting in trouble with the IRS when filing, more tax compliance. What you're doing is on a completely different level. I honestly don't even know what you're doing is something that they would ever teach you at Deloitte, even if you were in a specific group that specializes in securitization, to be honest.
Wow. And you actually, when we talked on the phone, I didn't believe you because I'm like Deloitte. That's big four. They're not no little rinky-dink company. They manage the assets of multi-billion-dollar finance companies. They are the big dogs. When it comes to accounting, they are the big dogs. Oh, you best believe Deloitte is a big dog. And I thought when you started working there, I'm like, oh, bet, bro. I was like, yo, bro, you gonna be able to give me some pointers on the inside. Cause that's why I was so excited for him working for that big four. I'm like, bro, you gonna be able to maneuver with the people you need and give me some, share that information at that top, no, we'll bring it back in. We can implement it. And then when he told me that for the first time, I was like, you can't be serious. I said, you can't be, there's no way they're gatekeeping like that. But the bigger, what I'm saying is, this guy works for the top of the top companies, firms, accounting firms. That in the United States, that name alone rings bells. The fact that he can say he works for them and has that on his resume is going to open the door to him for a lot of opportunities. That name alone is like a badge of honor. And just to know, and I felt honored and humbled that the brother reached out to me while he was still a senior in college before he graduated. And I didn't know that he was actually learning way more in depth than what he was being taught by the professionals for me. I didn't know it. And yes, this is the guy who sent his professor my accounting document. See, why am I saying that? Why did I ask the brother Roche, can you let your professor see my accounting document? Why would I ask him to let his professor judge and give his opinion on my accounting document? Do you want to know why I asked him to do it? The Dunning-Kruger effect. The peers in who I measure myself against are not other online gurus. The people I measure myself against are professors, lawyers, ex-SEC attorneys, top executive accounting firms, big judges in law reviews. That's who I measure myself against. If I'm not on their level, I'm not doing nothing. But we got a 23-year-old that wants to debate me. Roche, what did your professor say when he read my documents? Oh, by the way, y'all, that phone call, the elements of the phone call, because he called me as soon as he got out of class. It's on my page. It's on my YouTube. By the way, so this ain't no makeup. What did the professor say, Roche?
Yeah, man. He took a second. Well, he's so little background. It was a professor that said he loves learning about different ways that people try to fraud the system. And so I was like, oh, this is the
Hey,
perfect
hold on,
accounting
one second.
professor.
One second.
Hey, that was a big thing.
Yeah, what better opportunity
Yep.
Yeah.
Bring this and see what he thinks about it. And he says, he invites people. He actually even invited us to make a fake invoice and bring it into class to see. I actually won that competition, by the way. I copied one.
Hold on.
Yeah. Bro, just dropping bombs like nothing.
Yeah. So I said, this is a perfect professor to bring this up to and see what he got to say about it. And so I brought it to him before class, about 20 minutes before class started, and I said, I have a question. I know you are into, seeing different ways that people try to fraud the system and that of the sort. I was reading over this very complicated paper, or it seemed pretty complex, and I kind of played that I had no clue what it was at all. Like I just found this document somewhere. He started reading it, and as he started reading it, you could just see like his facial expression. And so he stopped and he looked at it and he said, yeah, this seems like a legitimate accounting issue. And I was like, oh, so like this is real, like this. And he started getting red. And before he even finished reading past the first page, he handed me back the packet and was like, it seems like an issue. We got to get back to class now. I never brought it back up to him. Never brought it back up to him.
You're
it seemed like he was a little
rocking with the
uncomfortable.
best.
Seemed like he was a little uncomfortable answering my
Want to know
question.
why?
Yeah.
Because he's a gatekeeper. He was never going to talk about that with y'all. You made
And
him
he
very
said, I forgot. He said it's a highly advanced accounting topic. That's what he said. He said you don't learn this unless you're in very advanced accounting classes. And even with that said, you wouldn't learn the breakdown that Lamar was doing on that paper.
And this guy wants to debate me on accounting. When we have a college professor at Florida University saying this is highly advanced. The SEC attorney saying, yo, he is on this game. Where the hell did he learn this from? You don't learn this to your 10, 20-year practice. The ex-World Bank examiner. Yo, he didn't go to school for this? He's self-taught for real? The homie's like, yeah. But we have a 23-year-old that wants to debate me. The pride and ego in him thinks he knows more than me. He wants to debate me on account, and part of the topic is accounting. Alan Najee, let me just tell you this. This is what I mean about the Dunning-Kruger effect. I took someone with more experience than me, and I measured me against them. He says, yeah, you don't even learn this in regular school. Like, he barely pretty much should have said, where the hell you get this from? We don't even teach this here. This is highly advanced. And you want to know why I know the professor was true? Because when I was doing my research and studying and understanding, it was all highly advanced areas Like you wasn't learning this at the regular accounting level. It was always the people that was putting out the publishings, highly top. Every time I would see the author's name, CPA award, Accountings Associations of America, like the top of the top accounting experts that could read a balance sheet in their sleep. See, that's who I study from. And Roche, we talked on the phone and you said, and you're the one that brought it to me. I thought it was normal. I was actually getting on the group for why they wasn't picking up as fast as it was. Then I had to scale back after me and Roche's conversation. Because I was getting on them like, why is it so hard for y'all to pick up on advanced accounting and advanced securities law at the same time? Y'all know that's the standard of this group. And then Roche, he had to bring me back to planet Earth. This is the other side of the Dunning-Kruger effect. Underestimating your skills like it's not really like that, but it's really like that. That's the others. I suffer from that version of the Dunning-Kruger effect. And Roche had to tell me, like, bro, I work at the Big Four. You never find anyone in this field that knows advanced accounting and advanced securities. The SEC attorney confirmed, like, no, at the SEC, you don't ever, the accounting people bring the securities people in to check the books. The securities people bring the accounting books in. And when he first told me that, you know what I said? This is before with the professor, with Roche, the brother. You know what I said? I said, so the accounting people bring the securities people in to check the books. And then the securities people bring the accounting people in to check the books. Well, here goes a new challenge for me. I'm going to learn them both.
You're rocking with the best.
I'm going to learn them both. I'm going to learn accounting, advanced accounting, and advanced securities. I'm going to learn them both. If the only the professionals, because the Dunning and Kruger effect, I'm always looking at what the professionals are doing. See, my peers, my relative peers are not the social media people. I don't measure myself against them. I measure myself against the professionals. So in that field, it's rare that you see a person that knows accounting and securities at the same time. I say, well, fuck it. I'm going to learn accounting and securities at the same time. So now when it becomes a mortgage note, then it changes names multiple times through the securitization process. I'll be able to follow it on the balance sheet. I know they call it deed to trust and notes, but once you close, they take on totally different names, governed by a totally different set of rules, governed by a totally different set of regulations. So when people talk about securitization with the note, I already know they lost. But he wants to debate me. Najee, you don't even know who you was talking to. I'm one of a kind. No legal background, never went to college for it, all out the mud. I'm one of a kind, bro. I'm telling you, I know way more than what you think I know. No, I'm telling you, can do all your studying between now and Sunday. You're still not going to know nowhere near of where I'm going to take this debate. It's impossible for you to get it all down packed before Sunday. I'm telling you, bro. If I was having an honest opinion, I'll just say this. I think you should just not respond and just tap out. Because especially if your clients who you're representing the mortgage are going to be tuning in, the last thing you need them to see is me asking you highly technical accounting terms, not dumbing it down, the proposed rules. You can't research online to give your answer straight in the mirror, straight on the camera. And I'm going to ask you highly technical terms, and I'm going to know if you're reading from ChatGPT or Google. I'm going to be asking you terms that you don't even know exist. I'm just going to be honest with you. Darren, Roche, am I lying? Natural, am I lying?
Nope. Nope.
No, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth.
You're not,
I wanted to
you're
mention
not,
this.
go
I
ahead.
wanted to mention it earlier, what Roche has just eloquently said. Uh, there are the way that you teach, and you don't even, I don't think that you know that you do it. It's just something that is in you because of how you learned, how you continue to learn, and how you put things together in your mind. So, although, like, I would never be so silly as to put myself up against you. Uh, I do say though, like to your average everyday person, because I've been under your tutelage and because you make it mandatory for us to read and understand, um, I would say that if I was just crooked, man, I would get on YouTube and just make a bag really quickly because by default, simply because I have been shown the right way, where to find things, what the things mean, and then have my own understanding. Man, we are, like you said, we're head and shoulders above. And then, like Darren said, this young man is like 23 years old, and you're playing with people's mortgages. He would do better if he simply said, you know what, you're right. I, I have probably bitten off more than I can chew. Understanding the brevity of what he's getting ready to do, losing someone's mortgage. Like that's money, that's time, that's energy. And until you are in that kind of situation, you don't know how somebody's going to react. Man, that dude might have a hit out on him. It would just be wise to partner up with you and be like, this is out of my league. Would you help and just give me a cut or something like that? Because again, like the things that people are coming out of desperation. They, even Kenyatta, like for somebody to have gotten approved and been in a house that costs 1.5 million, and then you screw around and you lose that. So when you were in the system and just going by what everybody else does, you were doing great. When you had your car, you were doing great. It's when you decided that you were going to buck the system all on your own based on somebody who did not have receipts. When again, not saying that their outcomes would be the same as yours, Lamont, but what I am saying is that when you team up with somebody who has the evidence, who has the wins, who has the track record, then you are more able to kind of get on that team. And if you want to do it yourself, cool. But if you like you always used to say, pay how you weigh. They still would have been in a 1.5 million dollar house, still would have been driving the car. If your ego would sit down, if you would quit trying to make a bag, you could actually get a bag the
Yeah.
right way that's
Yep.
sustainable. And then probably with your permission, be able to go and teach what you're teaching. If that's what they wanted to do. But again, people don't even for real want to do that. They just want the thing. They
Right.
just want the thing. So
Natural.
they're only using it as teaching because of that.
One person in the history of my existence online has ever reached out to me and said, yo, I got a group I'm teaching. but I like your methods better than mine. Can you teach me so I can teach them the more of a correct way? Only one person that ever did that. I said, hell yeah. One person. So I got a group. He said, I'm be honest, I got a group that I'm teaching, but I really like your shit. I think your shit is more where we need to be. Do you mind? Like if I bring my people over here, I said, no. I'll teach you, and then you can teach them the right way. But the pride and the ego, and then what I respected him, because he humbled himself. I didn't go put on, look, I'm teaching another teacher. You won't even know. You don't even know who this person is. You don't even know. And I see him online all the time. I say him online all the time. And he's echoing me, which is cool. And then he did the respectable thing, is giving me a shout out. When I hop in his live, he gives me a shout out. Y'all, there go my teacher right there, y'all. Did his people start coming floating over there to me? No. They always like, yo, good luck. What's up? He over there. They go my teacher right there, y'all. They go tell him, they go my teacher right there. But the pride and ego, because they're so money hungry, they're only looking at it. I can't lose this money that I'm getting. Instead of being like, have an actual product that people will want to come and stay engaged. This is from y'all, the homie in the group and the ex-professional attorney talking about me.
According to your conversation with your friend, the attorney, what we go over in group is right in line with the legal standards and the professionalism on how it has to look and what you need to know when you attack these people.
The words that he used was, you're going about it standard operating procedures.
Don't miss out on this opportunity to litigate like a seasoned professional. Join the Supreme Elite Team University.
Thomas in the lobby, folded thicker than a skyline, credit acceptance on a resume with stories in the fine lines.
And let me give everybody a shot of wisdom. Let me give everybody a shot of wisdom. But not on my self-assessment, not my self-grandiose, by practical, studying these people like a book. Remember, I studied these people for 16 months before I even pulled the plug. I researched their balance sheets, their accounting, their SEC filings, prior case laws, court cases, the jurisdictions where they were in, how the courts usually read. I did the procedural history and the procedural posture in cases like mine in the Fourth Circuit, all that research. Now, tell me if this did or didn't age like fine wine. Another firm has started their initiation.
Yo, that aged like fine wine, sir. It aged like fine wine.
Sometimes this shit scares me. The only way that you can gauge what I was saying is what he's saying really true is the outcome of the case. As soon as they made an appearance, we went immediately to settlement. And one of the key things I said, this wasn't your average consumer defense. See, that's why I said, it's not your average consumer defense. I litigated this like a class action lawsuit where extensive knowledge of accounting, extensive knowledge on securities, extensive knowledge on the securitization, extensive knowledge on their internal operations. That's what you see in class action security claim. I argued a consumer claim as a class action securities lawsuit brought on by investors, in which the top seasoned litigators handles those cases. But yet, a 23-year-old wants to debate me. My experience alone is going to squash him. He doesn't know how to cross-reference 7 different accounting standards to all come back to the same point. He doesn't even know the legal definition of a down payment. I know what he's thinking. Oh, down payment. No. He doesn't even know how to locate all these items on the balance sheet. He doesn't know the rules that governs the balance sheet and the financial reporting. Alan, stay away from accounting in this debate Sunday. Bro, stay away from it. I'm too advanced. Lawyers don't even know what I know. Y'all remember the law firm that works for investors? I sent them my lawsuit and they reached back out to me and they was just amazed. We knew this could work on the investor side. We never knew that it could connect to the consumer side. But don't take my word. I don't know about mortgages. I don't know about auto. I don't know how to argue in court. I don't know how to structure the lawsuit. I don't know how to litigate like a top seasoned professional. No, just take everybody else's opinions over my facts. That's what you do. You take everybody's opinions over my facts. That's what you do. If you want to be stuck in la la land, take everybody's opinions over my facts. Final words. We're going to start with natural. Final words, baby girl. Natural.
Yes. Final words. If you ain't got the proof, then shut your mouth. If you got the proof, let the proof speak for itself. Fucking with people's money, messing with their lives, messing with where they lay their head, and not knowing what you're doing will put you in a situation that you may not be able to come back from. Let the ego go and pass the bucket. It's when you have the opportunity to learn, you should do so. When you have the opportunity to sit at not an emotional person, but a master who continues to elevate and who has not just himself, but other people who have won under his tutelage, bro, it's a no-brainer. He can go from A to Z and not miss a letter. Why would you not want to link with that? With the right mindset, with the right intention, like you can come out on top. So I guess choose ye this day who you will serve. That's it.
That was very. Y'all better listen to her. Darren, final words. Darren. Okay. Roche, final words.
Yeah, man. Still got a long way to go to learn. I'm glad I started as early as I did. Glad I ran into, man, the stuff that he teaches, guys, this is not common knowledge. You'll like the chances of you running into somebody that's able to understand on this level is slim to none. If we're keeping it a buck. Great opportunity. I mean, I'm blessed to be in this group. I wish I could dedicate a lot more of my time to it. I mean, if I could, I would just If I could go to Deloitte and learn all this stuff all
Bro, you
day,
right
man,
where
I'll
you
be
need
a
to be.
beast. I'll be a beast, but
you right where you need to be, bro. You
you're
right where
right.
you need to be. Remember, we
You're
talked. You right. You right where you need to do. You right where you need to be, because you got the best of the both worlds. You got
Yeah.
the under stuff that they're not going to teach you, and you could tighten up on the more practical side of it, because it
Yep.
is a benefit working there. But you got best of the both worlds, and that best of the both world knowledge is going to allow you to climb up the corporate ladder.
That's right.
You best believe it. Proud
So-
of all y'all. Everybody Supreme Elite Team Group. I'm proud of all y'all, because this is not easy. This is not easy. This is not easy. And y'all sticking there, and y'all been thugging it out. Y'all been riding with me. This is a family over here. So shout out to the Supreme Elite Universe, Supreme Elite Team. Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with us. Hell, even shout out to the people that are the critics, outliers. Shout out to y'all, because I understand. I understand how it goes. Like, Jesus wasn't always liked, and I'm not trying to put myself in love with Jesus, but I know there's going to be that. But one thing about me, I'm never going to say anything unless I can prove it in court. And let's just stick to me, because I'm the leader of this group. My own outcomes is enough.
Empire Talk, Boardroom Aura, New Culture, we set order. Time is folded thicker than a sky. Critics say his pride on, they sell dreams on omens. He just saw it break a predator down into more hell. Securitization flow, turn a contract to a bond chain. He can trace the money trail backwards in a rainstorm. Same lane, receipts in a briefcase, dates, times, bank names. You bring vibes to the courtroom, he bring numbers in case names. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with these. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with these. He's seen lenders flip scripts, turn a whip to a shackle. Interest climbing every month to your paycheck battle. But he peeled back Christ and Nick the R under the mask. See the spread versus the funding, who's skimming off the past. He no chalk off, road rates lost curves in his sleep. How they package up defaults and sell pain on Wall Street. He cross-check statements with the filings in the forecast. Find a misstep and turn one comma to a court clash. Consumer on the stand, heart racing in the cheap suit. He translate legalese, the plain talk, clean truth. Litigation in his left hand, excel in his right. Tell the judge what the bank did, cell by cell, line by line. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with ease. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with ease. They move in the margins, he read in between. They hide it in footnotes, he pull it on screen. From the boroughs to the boardroom, same concrete. Thomas built a whole empire off one word, receive. See pay vision, JD rhythm in his cadence. Double check the debits, then dismantle all the plaintiffs. Underrated models, he can see where they cheat. Assumptions too rosy on a loss rate sheet. Dockets on the desk, he align them like a chessboard. Case law, cash flows, every step next chord. Supreme Elite follow, blueprints not gossip, they talk bag. He talk tax, keep profit, new culture empire. This is financial defense, teaching credit as a weapon, not a lifelong sentence. From credit acceptance battles to the hallways of appeal. Thomas turned every closed door to a signed, sealed deal. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got receipts line by line, no smile. In the dark where they hide those fees, we light up the fee sheet, breathe with ease. Supreme Elite, we don't speak, we file. He got
got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global stand. On my wrist like a stage, they can't claim. You look like you wanna let go straight. What's up? I thought so, okay. I'm back in this symphony, stuck on the band. What's up? I thought so, okay, yeah. Run it up, running it bang. Whipping up heat, got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global band. It's bang. Fresh white tee, chrome on the rim. Big body slide, whole block looks slim. Wrist on chill, but the boy too hot. Turn my last L to a key to the spot. Plug on the phone, say let's slide. Came from the back, now we front row live. Couch full of cash, can't sit, can't fold. Used to pray for a play, now it's overload. Run it up, running bang, bang. Whipping up heat, got sauce in my hand. She rolling the dice, got luck in that van. Smoking that leaf, going global. Ooh, ooh, expand. Blue, 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 blue. Shorty too thick, attitude too. Say she want a boss, not a boy in the crew. Stamp my name on the side of her glass. Say she feel safe when I'm hitting the gas. Mama in the crib, fridge stay packed. All them long nights, put food in the stack. Talk about stay down, I really did that. From the floor to the fourth type check. Had nothing but hope in the half tank. Now it's 10 toes down, all gas. No thanks, if they cross that line, it's a bad move. We don't double back, we just improve. Run it up, running mid-range. Whipping up heat, got sauce in my hands. She rolling the dice, got looking at van. Smoking that leaf, going global. Expand.
You're rocking